I turn this up a little bit, up, said baby Judy. Okay. If I put that up too, here we go. How's that? Way better. Da 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 ba dee da dum. All right. So that means, why have you gone all quiet all of a sudden? That one over there. What was that? Was that little quiet video over there? Is it the USB one? Oh, it's probably that camera, isn't it? Did I put you to sleep, little camera? I bet you I did. I bet you I did. Oh, there's that one. Okay, that's nice. And then what is... That's me there. Was there one more? Well, the roaming camera. What did I do with my roaming camera? Aha! My little roaming camera. Put it in the wrong plug, didn't I? All right, so I should have a bunch of cameras for you now. Is it still echoey? I'm guessing it's a little better now. And my hope is I'll even be able to... Can't read lips, can't see him. Woohoo! All right, let's try this. Do. Ba-dum! 3 cameras, but it's weird pixelated kind of thing happening, isn't it? It's very odd, my little Razer camera. It's also a weird little bit echoey still, isn't it? I mean, it'd be great if I had like effects. I could actually, you know, do the reverb thing. Let me see what I've got going here. We see you, but no sound. Okay. You can see me, but no sound. Let's have a look. Oh, it's really loud. I see you and hear you, but a bit quiet. All right, I'm going to give it a second to sort of settle down a little bit. See what's happening. Okay, if I go up with the volume, how do I do that? Is that... That's camera 3. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to change the sound here. And see what I've got going on. So hardware inputs there, hardware inputs there. I guess I could... Does that help? Is that making it a bit louder? That does, doesn't it? And Pocket Lola. Thank you very much. Very kind. Very kind indeed. So I have all cameras everywhere. But... still working out my sound. I've done a little reorganizing. Let me see if I can show you that with this. There you go. So, Trash Mac, my most hated purchase ever. It's my fabulous Trash Mac, which is just anything but fabulous. So I built a little shelf for it. And by that, I mean I screwed a couple things to the wall. But it just meant that I had access to these stupid ports, which are so badly designed. And the hope was that it would be a little less crazy with the cables. Not really. As you can see, there's still a fair amount of cabling to contend with. Oh, yeah. And I really wanted to have a way of doing... I really wanted to have a way of streaming so that if and when my silly old computers fail, the ATM can take over. Anyways, I thought I'd start a bit early, which is nice. So now I've got 20 minutes. And I just thought, because I haven't had a chance to chat anybody. I haven't chatted with anyone except Tech Bandits recently. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to sort of, you know, oh, you got a kind of a neat shot there on. So this is what I get to see in my broadcast. So coming out of the ATM, I get to see this display of all my various options for what I can go to. So let's say I want to go to camera 1. Let's go to the gate cam. There we go. We go to gate cam. Let's say I want to show off this silly little mixer that I'm using on the other computer. I go like this, and then you see stuff you probably shouldn't. And then what have I got? Camera 4 is the old fallback that needs I need a little mat on that, but I don't have one right now. So I'm going to go back to camera 1. Oh, I'm going to go back to camera 2 because I like that one the best. There you go. So that's the setup. Kind of neat. I know I haven't Yeah, I have a really laggy camera. I wonder why that is. Why is it lagging? It's an interesting dilemma. Yeah, all the cameras are lagging quite a bit. I think it might be because I've got all of them going through one USB port. I could try moving them around a bit, see if that helps. So right now they're all in there. I have some other ports, so hang on, let me do this. Which one's that? That's my... Let's take my sexy Kaio camera. Okay, so I'm gonna lose the one on the right for a second. There we go. I'm gonna pop it in over here. See if it likes this better. See if that speeds it up at all. So the hope is I can now bring that back. It's, oh God, it's so much fun to play with, but of course, whenever I do, I end up causing a bit of chaos. All right, so let's go have a look at, which one is it? Was it this one that I called that? Unsaved changes. Let's save them. Razor. Isn't that what I want? Yeah, there you go. Want that? Voila, I'm back again. There you go. Is that better? Still a bit of a lag. Not quite as bad, maybe, but still a bit. Surprisingly so. Let's use a nicer preset. See what that does. Any better? Does it slow it up, speed it up? Anyways, that may just be the way it is today. It may just be like that. I wonder if QuickTime's faster. Let's see if this makes a difference. Right now it's going through OBS. I'm thinking it could be kind of fun if I can get it to go through QuickTime instead. Of course, I need to see my QuickTime setup in order to do that. Come on, come on. Let's go. Come on, little dock. I need to see my dock. Right, QuickTime. So QuickTime, what I've been doing in the past is just grabbing the movie, going to movie mode and opening it like that. Is that faster? That's definitely faster, isn't it? Huh. Okay. That is interesting. Well, let's get rid of that. See if I've got, I don't want two going because it's going to slow things down, even more craziness. I'm going to put this in the background. If I do this, will I not have some nice, no, I guess not. I thought it would be able to do this, maybe something like that. Oh, there you go. That's a little better. There you go. So that's sort of, you know, amateurly professional. What do we got? Okay. I'm okay besides my depression and PTSD. Oh God, World Builder, what's up? What is up? This, the funny thing is about this whole depression thing is that I've been listening to a lot of these sort of podcasts about starting businesses and that kind of stuff. Not because so much because I want to start a business. I would love this to be a charitable thing. I'd love this to be a charitable organization or a not-for-profit, something like that. The problem with that is that then I need a board of directors and I have to ask people permission whenever I want to do something different. And I felt that with Tech Bandits, I can't do that. I need to be able to just like go, oh, here's an idea and go off and do it. And so my concern was, how do you make this sustainable without it being a like a charitable thing? And I also, you know, I mean, I very much appreciate all of the sponsors and subscriptions and such that I've had. I don't want to rely on that. I want to be providing something. But I guess in a way, I suppose with the streaming, I'm providing a stream and people can watch it, listen to it. I suppose there's a service involved in that. But I was trying to figure out, you know, is there a way to become like a Tom's shoe company that has half of their money goes towards paying for pairs of shoes for people who can't afford them whenever you buy a pair of their shoes? Could I be earning something with Tech Bandits that could then be used to give back to the community, to the Tech Bandits kids, who I will rope into this in the next 15 minutes or so. At 4 o'clock, I'll pop on the Discord and say hi to everybody. Get the kids in, because we got some fun stuff to talk about today. Baz wanted to talk about VR, so I thought we'd talk about some VR today. There's some neat stuff that I've learned about it, and also just some different uses of it. In fact, if you want to get a head start, and have a look at the notes I did some show notes. Where am I? I'm here. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm just going to go to bring that up for you folks so you can see what the heck I'm doing. It was kind of fun. Baz was excited about virtual reality, and I was struggling for some suggestions. It's kind of a slow time for tech news. And so I was looking for what best to talk about. I was going to talk about Trump getting kicked off Twitter and what they thought about that. There was something else. Also the cybersecurity side of the Capitol thing, but I don't know whether that's something they're interested in or not. So what I've done instead is talk about VR, which is kind of fun. So I'm going to bring up this, and I'll give you a link to just, again, these are not, finished or anything, but it's just a sense of where my mind was and what I thought would be worth talking with them about. Here you go. So those are the notes for Tech Bandits. And if you, by the way, if you want these in general, I am in the process of turning them all into newsletters. So this will be a newsletter that'll go out on a regular basis. So go hit thetechbandits.com and sign up for the mailing list, and you'll get these things as well. So Toasted Farts saying they're a good listener, World Builder and Dog. Now I missed what was up with World Builder and Dog. But I was going to say, the thing that came up with all these business podcast things that I've been listening to was how often people, even billionaires, multi-millionaires, billionaires, incredibly successful business people, find themselves with depression. And it's the same thing in the acting world as well, the entertainment industry. You got all these people who you think would be like, oh my God, they're so-and-so on television. They're Rodney McKay on television. How could he be depressed? The reality is, in a way, that can compound it. So the point being is that everyone has to deal with this stuff, and I think it's important to talk about it. I mean, I grew up and it was just like, oh, the Hewletts were manic depressive. Either you're way up or you're way down, and that's just what you deal with. The black dog, my father used to refer to it. It was an old Winston Churchill quote, I believe, about depression. When you felt down, you had the black dog, and you just bloody well dealt with it, Miss Lintz, thank you very much. So it sneaks up on a lot of people. And in these business podcasts, they kept coming back to the fact that it's not expected with people who are successful in a financial or a business way, or just successful people aren't supposed to get depressed. But the reality is depression has nothing to do, well, obviously it can have a lot to do with your environment, but it doesn't necessarily have anything about where you are in your life. The whole point is it is a mental health issue. It's like a non-smoker getting lung cancer. The reality is it's not about oh, well, you didn't do anything wrong and you still got cancer. The point of depression is that it can affect anybody at any time for a multitude of different reasons. And if we pretend it's just about kicking yourself in the butt and getting on with life and, oh, just go on, stop wallowing and get out of it, I don't think we're going to get anywhere with it. So the reality is you've got to sort of face up to this stuff. So I love the fact that, people can come on here and say like, okay, I'm feeling miserable and I could use a chat, and I hope that this is a place where we can do that stuff and not be judged on it. The kids are really good about this stuff. The kids are, I think, being educated in a way to accept this stuff. I mean, being an old grumpy old man like myself, there's a part of me that goes like, oh, come on, we talk about this too much. We got to get on with things. But I also understand that, we've had terrible numbers of increasingly young women, and certainly a lot of minorities struggling with suicide. And if that's the way the world is going, then this is obviously a problem that needs to be addressed. So, yes, the light on the ceiling is voice activated, very much so. I've been playing. Can you get it? I actually glued them down. I committed to actually gluing all of my lights to the ceiling the other day. So there's actually a little LED set up. Oh, I should use my roaming camera so as not to confuse things. Only myself. So roaming camera can show you that up here. Yeah, I glued down all of my LEDs, wired them up, glued them down. I've got them all around the back as well now, all glued down. It was really fun, I gotta say. And then I got called away to help with VR. So I just wanted to make it look a little disco in here. I was going to decorate him with lights, but I just ran out. I've got a few more I need to play with, but Baz has been really excited about this whole VR thing, and I'm kind of excited that he came up with the idea for today's Tech Bandit. So, wow, Flinkig, thank you very much, Flinkig. It's very kind of you. Have I missed anybody? Cal, how are you, Cal? How is the bathroom remodel going? Thanks for asking, Lady Shelley. Maybe you'd like to give me a nice little paper cut and pour lemon juice on it. Yeah, haven't done a lot of that, I gotta say. It looks very clean, and I've got all the stuff hauled away, and now I've got to figure out whether I need to level the floor before I put down the flooring and redo the... There's a lot of stuff to do. So there's been a lot of closing the door and ignoring it. But I'll tell you, going from a house with a couple of bathrooms to a house with two, well, I guess 3 bathrooms. We went from 3 bathrooms to 2 bathrooms. It's made a... I noticed it. I noticed there's a lot of times I can't get into that bathroom when I want to. I know the pain. I just started doing mine. Oh, Zerg did the same thing. Did you? The pulling apart is so easy. The demolition is so much fun and so easy to do. The whole other building fixing part is much more difficult. Should we take a photo? Let's do a selfie, and then I can send it off to Twitter and let everyone know that we're doing this. It's important to look very sexy in these things, so I make sure that I'm always showing my best face. So let me just tweet this off and let everyone know. Chatting before, what should we say? Chatting before some tech banditry. Tech banditry. Please come by and say hi. Hi. Come by and please come by and say hi. I should always read it over again before you send it, because the number of times I've discovered the most appalling, grammatical or spelling mistakes long after the fact is just that and I probably don't even notice half of them because I frankly was so bad at school on that stuff. Grammar was awful in school. Couldn't stand it. What's this? I know the pain. I just started doing mine. Hope everyone's having a good day. Thank you, Miss Liz. And hello, Miss Liz. Jeez. Zerg says, except when you hit on the pipes so they burst. Yes. I haven't touched wood. Haven't done a lot of plumbing yet. Jane got nervous when I started talking about getting a torch to do the copper plumbing. So she's hiring a plumber now. And then she got nervous when I talked about doing the electrical, so we had an electrician come in. Although I don't like what he did, because there's one of the things in the basement that he did for me. He came down and was like, oh, that's dangerous. You need to fix that. So he came in and he recabled a whole bunch of stuff. Well, but one of the lights is now, there's this horrible buzz to it, which I'm convinced is going to kill us all. But anyways, I did what I was told. TBY. I have a little macro, whatever they call it, on an iPhone, so that when I type TBY, it automatically puts out the whole thing. Into my various different texts, because there's some things that I just type out all the time. It just takes forever. It's so much easier to have some computers fill it out for you. There you go. So there's a little tweet, and then I like to do a little Facebook too, because for some reason, who here is on Facebook? Does anyone use Facebook? I'd like to get off all of them, actually. Yeah. Oh my God, 66 bucks. I can't get over how expensive the parts are for showers and kitchens. Oh my God, it's like they see you coming. Okay. What do you think of my mushrooms, by the way? Did you check out the mushrooms? I tweeted about some mushrooms this morning. I was so taken with how fast they grew and how much of them showed up so quickly. Like, talk about a solution to a lot of hunger issues. Although, as I say that, I go, except they require a lot of water, which I imagine is part of the problem. All right, I'm chatting before Tech Banditry. Please come by. And you're welcome to chat throughout Tech Banditry as well, but as you know, I tend to focus a bit more on the bandits at that point. So we'll do that. I'll do that. I will send off that, and then I feel like my marketing department has done their work. That's the other thing I look into with these business podcast things. Is just, how do you market? How do I? Because I really would like to expand the base of my tech bandits, like the kids. I'd love to have kids from around the world, but how do you get kids from around the world? I guess, and also how do you sort out the timing? Right now, it's basically North America, and which is great. I mean, that's great. And I guess there's a lot of different communities and such in the continuous states that could be a part of this. I just want to not just be my little hood in Toronto if possible. Although I guess maybe if that's what everyone wants, then that's what it is. Hello, fierce kittens. Hello, James Gurney. What? Mushrooms are the worst? James, I found something you don't like? You don't like mushrooms? I just signed up for the Odin's mushroom course. They've got a whole thing on like how to what do? You can clone some mushrooms. You can actually go and buy mushrooms from the grocery store, clone them, grow them, and then eat them. So I want to do that with some oyster. The ones I've got are oyster mushrooms, and I'd love to do some shiitakes. I love shiitake mushrooms, so I'd like that. Mushrooms are yummy. Mushies. I noticed in the Odin's URL for their course, they call it mushies, and I love that. So, and if you don't know, by the way, if you don't know the Odin, I should tell you about these folks, because this is Josiah Zahner, one of my favorite brilliant people in the world. Was responsible for getting me to the Hack the Planet biotech conference, for want of a better word. And just a really smart guy with some really, definitely some controversial views on biohacking and bioengineering and all that kind of stuff. So I'll put his link in here. There you go. That be the Odin. They do stuff that is too weird for you from a biological perspective. What, mushrooms or the Odin? Probably both. If you're going to create produce for your pizzas, you should be growing pineapples. Oh, I'd love to grow pineapples. Well, pineapples, you just slice the top off and put it in a plate, don't you? Isn't that how it works generally? Can you clone truffles? Truffles, are they technically a mushroom? Is that how that works? Because that would be a good idea, Wolf Pup. By the way, Wolf Pup, I'll log into Discord in the next few minutes, but I'm just chatting in the meantime, or as the case may be, reworking my audio setup yet again. Ooh, some big chunks coming down from the sky now. Can you see that? Let's go to camera 1 for the weather. Look at that! Holy moly! Like that is some. Wow, we got some snow happening. Here, if I move this out for you, you can see a little better. Or can you? No, I wired it in. Oh, good for me. No, don't mess with it. Don't mess with it. You'll notice I'm not wired. I'm untethered. So I've got wireless headphones, so I can actually roam around now. You can't hear me because the wireless microphone, everyone hated. Everyone hated the wireless microphone for some reason. Although, you know what I could do? Wait a second. Could I do that? If I plug that in, wait a sec. I'm going to screw this up, I know, but I'm going to try it anyways. Okay. So let's say I've got this on. And let's say instead of doing the hardware input from there, I got to change mice. I've got I got a mouse and a keyboard and 2 computers. And I switch back and forth with the USB switch, and it's freaking great. I love it. Okay, so we got that. Let's have a look at this hardware input. Could we do this? So okay, hang on a sec. How does that sound? So it's not as good, I'm guessing, from your perspective, but still I can walk around and be doing things around the lab. I don't know how far we can go. It's not awful. It's my radio voice. Hello, we at AM Radio here. Hot tunes in cold winter. All right, so I'll switch it back so you don't have to put up with that. So I will unmute that. Mute that. There you go. So it is quite compressed. Yeah, compressed. It's quite compressed. It's true. But, for roaming around and being able to see, I thought what's nice is, you got RoboCam up here and stuff. I can be moving around and switch, if I remember, switch it to this, or when I have to run into the other room to do something. Hey, David, introduce my friend to SG Atlantis, Stargate Atlantis. Brian Horn, this is saying. He's loving your character development so far in season 1. Very good. He obviously has very, very good taste. Your friend obviously has very good taste in character development. There you go. We can't see you. Because I'm on the... Right, of course. Never mind. You can't see me because I had the wrong camera. Cal says that's perfect. It's perfect if you can't see me. All right, let's see if we can log into Discord and see if I can get my little bandits chatting. Oh, they want to be on this computer, don't they? Right. Okay, so let's go to here. I'm going into Discord. We're on the Tech Bandits Discord, by the way. So the Tech Bandits chat I am keeping to the kids, but I'm wondering the rest of it, we should probably move our general chatty stuff. Not move, but you probably want to include Tech Bandits server as well, because in your Discord, if you're doing Discord, I should get a link for that for you as well. Okay, let's have a look at Discord. Is there anybody in Discord yet? We'll find out. We'll find out. So the Tech Bandits live. I don't see anyone in there. Oh yeah, Wolf Pup. Wolf Pup. Oh my God! Wait a second. First go. It worked.
I was just singing a song with my mic down, and then when I heard your voice, I jumped.
Nice. What kind of a song? What are you singing? Not that Wilbur Soot thing.
No.
Oh my God. Does everyone know who Wilbur Soot is?
I haven't listened to the song, the Wilbur Soot one, but I know about it.
Baz sings along with it all the time, to the point where one of my guitar lessons for myself, I actually tried to figure out how to, play.
I'm going to figure out if I can find the name of the song.
I'm in love with an E-girl was the one that Baz was talking about. Oh, wait a sec. So how do I do this? My Discord's over there. You're over here. It's going to be difficult, isn't it? What if I split the difference and put the camera... I'm gonna discable everything. Discable? Is that a term? It should be.
Oh, sorry for hitting my mic.
So you hear we're talking VR today, right?
Yeah.
Baz was really excited about this stuff all of a sudden, and I will admit, he talked me into playing Beat Saber. I may be in love. Beat Saber is pretty freaking great.
That what happened? Because I was in the middle of school, and then all I see pop up in my corner was that Baz is playing Beat Saber, and I'm like, he's playing it in the middle of the school day? I'm like, what?
Well, he finished the homework he was working on before lunch, so he had an extra long lunch, basically.
Oh.
At least that's what he tells his parents, anyways. Can we get Wolf Pup a little lower? Yes, we can. Let me figure that out for you. Let me bring that down a bit. I can't hear the final. Oh, your volume is way up. All right, Wolf Pup, do some talking for them.
Quiet.
No, that's
okay.
I'm
gonna talk really quietly because now nobody will know how to keep my volume.
There you go. See what you got. Is that any better, people? From a Wolf Pup standpoint?
Oh, can I tell you something that I thought was really cool that
Absolutely
I test out?
Yes, of course.
A lot of supermarkets put on their apples, they put on wax. They dip the apples in edible wax to make them look shiny.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
You can sometimes feel it on them. But is it bad for you? Is the wax bad for you?
Yeah, I don't know. What are we talking about?
Hey, Noodles!
I don't know how long I'll be able to stay today.
Oh my gosh, okay. Where are you?
At home.
You are?
I just have a piano lesson. Yeah, remember piano lessons?
I sent your mom an email about picking up computer parts.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could probably do that.
They're all stacked up. I was going to bring them around. I was going to throw them in the big orange cart and drag them around.
Nice.
Should I do that? It'd be like Santa's sleigh.
Sure. No, we're here the entire time.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
we're not going anywhere today.
Maybe after Tech Bandits, I can swing
Yeah,
by.
yeah.
Depends how late we go, but if we don't go too late, then I'm sure I can do that. Yeah,
Mhm.
because it's a stack of stuff. Although, is it snowing? I don't want to get them wet.
Oh yeah, it is snowing right
Yeah, I mean they're probably
now.
fine. You'd have to give them a
Oh,
bit of
can I
time
tell
to
you
warm
something
up.
really cool? My
Yeah, go.
whole driveway is covered in ice.
Is it? Can you skate on it?
Mhm.
Almost our whole driveway is covered in ice. When I went out to get the mailbox with my mom,
Yeah. Just
I
slide down.
slid down.
I
In the whole, in the side, not the whole road. And on, do you know how on the side of the roads there's ice normally?
mm-hmm.
It wasn't just the slush ice, it was the really, really slippery kind
Like
of ice.
black ice.
Like the full-on frozen tundra ice. I
But
hate
the thing
it
is,
because I
our
walk the dog.
driveway, it was barely any ice. There was
Yeah.
barely any sheets of ice. It was just a little bit of
Oh,
like sheet ice.
right. They weren't exactly sheets of ice. There was just sheets of ice.
Sorry, my brain isn't working at the moment. I
Robin
had a
says
trip today.
hello from World Builder and Dog. I don't know who that is, but it might mean something to you.
Oh, it's Benoit. It's the Benoit changed the name.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah, World Builder and Dog is Benoit. I thought you knew that.
No,
I didn't
I
know
can't
that.
keep track of anybody. I can't literally. I can't remember my son's name. I go, huzzah! I mean Baz. I mean Jane. I can never get it right. So I would love to blame old age, but I've always been that bad. I used to run through every single one of my sister's names before I got to the person I was trying to talk to, and it usually wasn't one of them.
Oh, that's fun.
Gerald, Jimmy, John,
Exactly.
Jane?
I sang Kate happy birthday. So my sister Kate, I sang her happy birthday with the family, and Jane. There, I just did it. And then Jane suggested that I run through a list of names before. So it's like happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Mort, Steph, Jane, Kate. So we
Happy birthday to
incorporate.
you.
Exactly.
Happy birthday to you. I don't know who you are.
Don't know
I
your
can't remember your
name.
name.
Nor do I really care. That's how it works with Kate. Because Kate's the most horrible sister you could have, just so you know. Jotun Mike, give me a project idea. I got some Arduinos here. I can think of anything for over a year. Really? Jotun Mike, you got nothing to do with Arduino. Grab some LEDs, do some fun lighting effects with what are they called? The pixies? What are they called? The
Turn
pixie?
off. I should dim my lights because I got LEDs for Christmas, which I probably should put on my walls.
Yeah, I glued mine. I finally glued mine to the ceiling. Finally. They were sort of always just sort of hanging loosely, you know, because I didn't want to commit. But now I've committed. And it looks like a circus. Doesn't it look like a bit like a circus in here?
I just have the LED pack because mine came in like a little circle. I just have the LED pack. And where's
Wait
the
a sec,
controller?
do you mean one of these? One of these here? Like that kind of
Here's
thing?
the controller.
Do you see it?
It's like that, but it's like bigger.
Aw, shut up. You got a bigger Stargate than I do. Really? How big?
It's like a full circle. Like it has multiple rows.
Really? Really? Oh, wow. Man.
I was just about to say, oh wait, I can show you, but then I realized I can't.
Is it bigger? Is it bigger than this?
It does.
I don't see it yet.
How's that? Is it bigger than this?
No, it's smaller than that.
Dad, don't you forget it.
Mine is. It's like little strips of. So it's a circle, but then it's pointed in, and it has multiple rows of LED, and I'm supposed to like roll the LED lights out on the wall, but I never got to it.
Huh. Yeah, ours came in big, like, almost like film reels. What am I saying to you? You don't know what a film reel is.
Yeah, film reels. That's
Yeah.
what mine looks like.
Well, they're great. Then that's like ours. They were the same. And can you control them with Alexa? Don't say it. Nope. Shut up, Alexa. I'm talking to you.
You said her name again.
It's okay. She doesn't listen to me normally anyways. Did you?
Yeah, you listen to me though.
Are they
I
available?
control it with my controller. I have a little controller thing.
Like
Oh
a
yeah,
little,
one of those.
like a little remote
Also,
control thing?
David, just put like a garbage bag over the computer parts. Just rip it, like, just cut it in half and just lay it out. A big one.
What if I just put the dog over them? Lay the dog over it. That's the
I mean,
nice little
like,
fluff.
can I keep the dog too?
Yes, please do. Oh, Titus, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Titus.
But Cal, stop thanking everybody. That's my job. Cal's,
No, but
what
you
is
don't
it?
forget
Cal's
to
looking
do
for
it. So,
friends.
Cal does a better job.
Actually, David, I do. I end up doing that a lot too.
You do a lot of things too. It's true. It is true. Now wait a second.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so hang on. Think noodles
Titus.
or Google
Yes?
noodles, as I would call you.
Yes.
So-
Continue.
Did you get a chance to watch the build?
No, considering the fact that I was up north with no internet and I completely forgot.
There was
well,
no
I did
internet?
forget.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
No.
Are you okay?
Well,
Noodles.
I have internet, but like I'm not allowed to use it except for like, I guess, seeing what my friends are saying and being sad that I can't do whatever they're doing and
So what do you do
Yeah.
up there? What do you do up at the cottage?
hike, snowshoe. Usually we ski.
What are you complaining about? Or you can't
I'm
ski,
not
they're allowed
complaining.
to, right?
I never complained. You were the one that was complaining about me having no
You're
Wi-Fi.
complaining about me complaining right now.
You're
Yeah.
complaining about me. Complaining
so glad
about
we can
me
all be
complaining
mature
about
grown-ups.
You complaining? No,
Oh, have we got
I
Baz in here?
probably could have come onto the Bass is here.
Oh, we got VR
Um,
Baz.
be
Yeah,
right
I
back.
probably.
Yeah, hello.
We've got some. Baz has got us back into VR again.
Ooh, I thought you got
Baz,
sick.
why do
with
you
that.
think? Why are you suddenly back to VR again? Was there something that you like? What sparked that interest again? Was there anything?
I got VR chat and wanted to be able to move my hands.
I haven't seen VR chat. Is it cool?
I don't want you on VR chat.
Well, that's like saying, Dad, go on VR chat.
No, please don't go on VR chat.
Why?
Because then
Why?
I'm gonna be like, oh my god, the people on VR chat are horrible. I'll
Are they?
never let you on VR chat
Well,
ever
then why
again.
should I let you on VR chat?
Because I'm cool.
Whatever. Get over yourself. All right, VR chat. Is it just called VR chat?
Yes.
And it's like a Zoom type thing?
Oh, Dad, you know Super Hot?
Don't change the subject. I know you're trying to change the subject.
Dad, you know Super Hot?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it
So
great?
apparently you need Super Hot VR.
Oh no. What?
Super
it doesn't
hot. I
run on
beat
ours?
it, and now I have a code that makes it so people can get it at a % off.
What? Damn it! We just bought it.
No, but we didn't get the right one.
What do you mean? We needed like an older
So
one or something?
apparently, no, you need to buy on Steam VR, VR Super Hot. We just bought Super Hot, which is
Oh,
what
no.
actually gets me really pissed off.
Well, do
The
you want to?
Forest is a-
Okay, then we can give it back though, right?
I think we can do Fun Day, yeah.
I think I could do that right now, even. I think.
How much
Oh.
hours do you have played?
How long have you
I've
played,
played like 2 minutes of it.
it? There you go. I think.
Okay,
that's,
because I was going to say, if you've played more than
Yes, I know.
2 hours, that would
Yes.
suck.
I had to give back. Someone was asking about Eve Online. I had to give Eve Online back because I got so motion sick. But that's one of the things I wanted to bring up was, does anyone here, has anyone tried, from a Bandit standpoint, has anyone tried VR other than Baz?
Well, you
I
already
have.
know. Well, I have. Well, I was actually with you once when I did VR.
Yeah, at the library.
Yeah.
And did you get were there any problems you had with that?
No.
Um,
I've
'cause-
actually done VR a few times.
I
And you've
got
never
motion
got sick.
sickness when I played Rec Room.
you've never got sick though.
Rec
No.
Room?
What's Rec Room?
Really?
It's-
Motion sickness from Rec Room? Okay.
I got that. It's because I didn't have the teleport mode on.
oh,
like,
God.
What is the difference between teleport? Teleport, you just instantly go somewhere?
Yeah, so I kept falling over, like,
Hmm,
because it kept tricking my brain. Dude, the floor is moving.
right.
Because that happened when I went, we went tobogganing, like, at a ginormous hill with my friends. Like,
Hmm.
I can't remember the name. and they were spinning us and all that. And how you got up, because how big it was, you need to go up like a moving sidewalk thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
And whenever I went on the sidewalk, I kept falling over,
Right.
And
I knocked, and we were all
Magic
trying to
marker.
and we were all trying to get up, and we were all knocking each other down by accident.
Ha.
Yeah.
And then they had to stop the the thing multiple times because of us and other people falling, because it's really hard to stay up.
Right.
Oh,
On
we
the
have one of
magic
those
carpet?
for the bunny hill at
Yeah.
at the ski club. So yeah, I'm used to them. I've gone up them with ski boots before, so I don't fall over very
Getting a
much.
lot more used to it after a few times. It's because that was
I
my
get
first time
really
ever.
stressed
Yeah,
out.
I don't think
yeah.
I've ever tried
No,
it.
I
So
understand. Like
So-
that can be
Panic on
hard.
it's like a
because
treadmill.
I hate when something's moving and I'm not the one that's moving. I get really sick and really uncomfortable.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why I don't like
and-
cars.
And yet you don't get. Well, you were starting to feel a little bit sick today with what were you playing? Sky.
I forgot its name.
No Man's
one
Sky.
sec.
In the VR?
It's not No Man's
Called
Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Baz was playing a driving game, basically, or a flying
No Man's
game.
Sky.
It
No
was
Man's
No Man's
Sky?
Sky.
That's fun.
It gets
I
me
have
really
it, but I haven't
sick.
played
Dad knows best.
it much.
So, okay. So I want to go through a few of the things. Have you seen the...
Oh, that looks really pretty.
It is pretty. It's a very pretty game, I gotta say. All right,
What
let me
is?
get this link for you.
No Man's Sky looks very pretty.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
It's beautifully
It's
done.
good.
And that trying to fly that ship was really cool too. I'm gonna stress ship. Okay, so what am I doing? I'm doing the scent
Ooh.
department.
They have a haptic suit, which there's this
No.
thing like apparently someone in chat said haptic suit.
Yeah, I know
So-
haptic
Which
suits.
apparently you can
That's like the
feel.
Oasis. That's the
Yeah,
Oasis right
yeah.
there.
I forgot I put up my volume so I could hear David, and when I did something else, it was
Ooh.
really loud, and it just scared me so much.
That's what I'm here for. Just scare you with science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. That's the key. Okay, so I've put the link in the stream chat. Do you want me to put it in the Discord chat as well? Please don't make me, because that's the other computer.
No.
Okay, good. So go check it out. There's a few things to look at that I want to at least talk about. Whether you look at them now or not, I'm going to make you talk about them now. So, first off,
Raccoon finger painting.
yeah, a raccoon doing painting. That's the first thing on the list that we need to talk about. How freaking cute is that?
Oh.
Although they
I like
probably
it.
just dipped the raccoon in paint and then went. Funk. But I
I
just
don't
love
know
that
why.
face.
I just had a random thought, and I just remembered. Do you know how people say my dog ate my homework?
Yeah.
Nobody would believe that. So what if your dog actually does eat your homework, and
That's
then
happened
you tell
multiple times to kids in my school.
Our dog
you tell the
would eat our
teacher,
homework.
My
Wouldn't
dog
say-
Someone
ate my homework,
My
and then the
friend's
teacher's just like,
dog
I don't believe
ate-
you.
ate my sister. My friend's dog.
My friends ate,
Ate-
ate your sister. My dog ate my
No,
sister.
I mean, sorry. My friend's dog ate his sister's AirPods.
Oh my god. Yeah. I worry about. I've seen your AirPods on the floor a couple times. I thought, you know what, Huzzah is gonna just chew that.
My
to pieces.
AirPods are on the floor. Oh really?
Well, a couple times, yeah. I
Oh
mean,
god.
I mean, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
You've made me
Huzzah's
panic.
just gonna look at it and be like,
Mm.
they
Those
didn't give
look
me enough
crunchy.
cable today.
Oh, yeah, Spider Breaker's a video of the raccoon putting like candy floss in the water and it dissolving and it just looking
Oh
very
my
sad.
god, it's so sad.
Look at
It
VR.
tries to like
That's-
feel
Wash their
around.
food.
It tries to feel around in their water,
You know-
like to know where it was.
I
Yeah,
gotta say this
because
VR chat looks kinda
because
cool.
raccoons like wash their food apparently.
Yeah, they wash their food before they eat,
Yeah, it's kind of cute, isn't it? Until they're.
but
in
then they
your
put
house.
cotton candy in it, and then
What's that?
it got everywhere.
What? Sorry, what?
And
What are you
it
talking
just
about?
disappeared.
Oh my god.
And it
I've
was
lost
so
them.
sad.
I've completely lost them.
I was so sad. Sorry,
About-
what's up, Dad?
So what are you so sad about?
We were literally talking about it this whole time.
I know, but I know what I missed the beginning.
Here, let me search this up. Raccoon, cotton.
It's the raccoon. Cotton candy.
Okay.
There was a raccoon that was caught in cotton candy?
No, there was a raccoon who had cotton candy, and then the raccoon tried to wash the cotton candy, and it dissolved.
I have the link for the video. Do you want me to post the link for the video?
Yeah, you better. Put it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Are you saying the raccoon was eating cotton candy?
And then he tried to wash it, and of course, what happens to cotton candy when you wash it?
It's dissolved.
It melts.
And it just goes away, and he feels for it in the water, and he was like, "Where did my candy go?"
I want to
He's
show
very
you this.
confused.
This is this
And he,
VR
like-
chat that Baz doesn't want me in, by the way.
And he literally
No. Not
and he
VR
grabs
chat.
the other cotton candy, and it just melts in his hands when he tries to wash it. No! No raccoon!
Is it in the chat?
He
so I
figured it
can see
out. Oh my gosh! Oh no! It happened again.
Is it in the
Oh,
chat?
oh.
Can I see it?
Oh, he ate it! He figured it out! Yay!
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Yay!
let's have a
I'm
quick
happy
look here.
now. Okay, I can post the
So-
link again. It's probably
this-
gone by.
bit
Okay, so there
Emotional
you go. So it's
roller
fine.
coaster for.
Yeah,
This
obviously
is more-
for
This
dick
is
movers.
more of an emotional roller coaster than any movie I've ever watched. It started off so sad, so much despair, and then finally he got what he wanted in the end. Oh,
Can I pop
So-
it up?
Sad raccoon noises.
also I want to point
So
out.
Wisik, so
that-
this is what we're looking at right now, is a raccoon washing. So what happens? So it
They're washing the
Okay.
cotton candy,
So that's cotton candy.
and it looks for
got got- oh, it's like, what the hell? Where'd it go? Oh, come on. Oh, and it gets sad. I'd get sad too.
This is
Oh my gosh, it's got another one. It's got another one. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, it's so delicious. What the hell?
he gets,
Oh my gosh.
and then he
It
finally.
gets better. You become happy again.
Yeah.
Wait,
You can open up your
That's
eyes.
right?
smart enough to move it away. See, they're
He
smart.
gets it, and then he
And he
figures
eats
out.
it.
Those raccoons are smart.
This is. I have watched one thing more of an emotional roller coaster than this.
Which is what?
The Extraction movie.
The Extraction movie?
There's a movie called Extraction, and it has the Thor dude. I can't remember his
Oh
name.
yeah, we saw
Darn, I
that.
did the.
We saw
I did
that,
the
Baz.
squid
Like an
ball.
action
Were
movie.
you sad at Extraction?
Shh, don't spoil
The
this, don't
end.
spoil this.
It was like what? It was just a random what moment.
There was a sad moment. There was some sadness in there, wasn't there?
Excuse me.
It was. It was sad, but it was happy, but it was also sad.
Right. Yeah, there
Nothing
was like,
compared
yeah.
to the remake of She-Ra, not the '80s version. The '80s version.
There's
They-
a She-Ra
The
remake?
remake of She-Ra?
The
Really?
remake.
She-Ra, like
Yeah.
He-Man and She-Ra?
That's sad. as
No.
well.
Yes. I'm not gonna give spoilers, but I cried.
I never
Really?
thought of it as sad.
Wait a sec. Where is the? I didn't even know that was.
You want to know something sad? I can make a kill.
What?
What?
I go da da da.
There was like
I
a
can make
different
a
language
kill.
for me.
Yes.
I don't know what that's
Make a kill.
on.
That's exactly what I just said.
Why can't I?
I
Oh,
thought
see. There
of
you go.
watching I Can Make a Kill because apparently it's good, but then I was like, what is this on? It's
Oh,
not on
I
Netflix.
know another anime that's sad, but I haven't watched.
Oh, actually, I wouldn't watch it. I can make it.
Why not?
I know another anime that's sad, but I haven't watched, and yep, Promise Neverland, World Builder, and Dog, exactly.
So this is the
It's
VR
not
thing.
sad, really? I don't think it's sad. It's more gruesome.
Okay,
So-
fair enough, but I mean, everyone dies. Though honestly, that's the last.
Have you seen I Can Make a Kill?
No,
This is the
because
VR
you told
chat
us
that
not
you're
to
in right
watch
now.
it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
So Baz, when you go into this chat, are there like just the same kind of like thing like Discord? You just have your own servers to pop into and stuff, or?
Yeah. You go into whatever world you want to, and then there'll be people there, and you just pretty much they just talk.
Huh.
But people are very not
This
okay
reminds me of-
there.
Oh, they're not. It's not.
Well,
not suitable for.
Fine.
school?
Like most people are fine.
But quite a
It's
bit of
called the
people
internet. What do
say.
you expect?
But people say. Naughty words.
They don't.
No, not naughty.
Don't believe it. All right, talk to me. I'm going to show you something. Check this out. Let's.
I'm spinning in a chair. Woo!
I'm doing this. I'm doing this.
This is fun.
That's the saddest thing. You're sitting in a chair.
That is.
No, I'm spinning.
Oh god. There you go. That's how to get virtual reality sick pretty quick.
How do you sit in a
spinning.
chair?
Not sitting. I'm happy. I'm spinning
I'm
in a
standing
spinning chair.
today. I'm doing my standing desk today because I
Oh
felt
well,
that
I guess
it helps
I'm
with
gonna
my
Also,
energy.
spin.
in Promise Neverland. Sorry. One
I
last thing.
spin off.
Promise Neverland. Not everyone dies.
Okay,
Most
fine.
people actually survive.
All right.
Okay, fair
I'm
enough.
changing the
I've
subject.
already gotten the entire plot
Stop
spoiled today
spoiling.
by somebody.
Bandits. I'm changing the subject. Check this out. So this is
Ah! I'm dizzy.
a little bit of robots.
Oh, VR robot. You mean the ones that like
Yeah.
you can
at this.
control and they can be on another planet.
That's,
I don't know why, but I always thought that thinking about that was scary. Like, what if you're playing an intense VR game where you
Hmm.
kill lots of things? What if like the government is you're actually a
government?
yes, the government. What if you're actually a robot? Like, what if you're controlling a robot and you're killing people?
There was a short film I saw that had that as the theory, as a science fiction theory, that you were basically signing up for a game, and it turns out that you were playing a soldier that were killing people, and that I think in the movie it was like they were killing people, and it turns out you thought they were alien invaders, but they were actually people. So it was kind of creepy, very sort of Black Mirror. If you ever watched Black Mirror. So the thing I like about this is check this out. Because you're using VR, look, you are seeing what the robot sees, which to me is incredibly useful when it comes to robotics. And then, of course, my next thing, which is like I go on about all the time, I say, like, stop throwing men and women and, I mean, mankind into space when you could put a robot in
Humans.
space, right?
Yeah.
See?
And if you have the and also here's the thing, stop like we are flesh meat bags. We cannot survive in space.
Exactly.
But this
Robot
but this
Dude
ma-
can.
but Robot dude can.
And
they can
using,
for sure.
like, to me, that's a really exciting use of VR. The idea that I could, well, I
Aren't
mean,
there?
I think I could put, I think there might be a way of having VR connected to the Easy robots. I mean, look, I think there's a way of attaching these guys, or these beasts, to VR. And they've got a little camera, right? So you would be looking through and seeing what they see and getting very sick if you're me. But then you should be able to use the controllers to do that. I'm going to look that up because I think that could be kind of neat. Don't you think?
Wouldn't
Yeah.
a robot? Hasn't Tesla made like a battery that doesn't run out because it's like a nuclear battery?
That seems like a
I don't know
bad
if it's
idea.
I don't know if it's a nuclear battery. When you look at what they were hoping to do with nuclear energy, they were hoping to have little nuclear power stations on, in cars and on the side of houses, and yeah, they were going to use it for everything.
I thought they made like a diamond battery that it's like nuclear power in a covered in diamond.
Really?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Someone look it up. Noodles, you know what to do.
Yeah?
You all know what to do. Just go check it out on the internet. See what there is. See if there's any information on what. Look up Tesla new batteries or something, or diamond batteries. I mean, now this is a little cheesy. This video here, I'm gonna say, but
Okay, I want to see it now. Okay.
but I think what I like about it is just what it sort of hints at the possibilities going forward. All right, so that's this one here. I don't want to go full screen. because
Scaring
I'm
me.
sure I'll get in trouble. Here we go. Do this. I'm gonna grab this. I don't really know how to share these things properly. I don't like all these extra things on the side. All right. So the idea here is you got your HTC, I would call it a Vive, but of course it's a Vive, and you are controlling a telepresence robot. In this case, it's more than just a telepresence robot. It's really, what do they call it? A telexistence robot. So you are in the robot. You are able to, with haptic feedback, get a sense of what you're feeling, and you're interacting with people from a distance, which is kind of cool. Again, this is all a mock-up. I don't believe this
Can I
is
just
actual.
say
What if we
That
do
was
this during social
thing?
distancing?
They would make sense for social distancing.
look
So are
at
we gonna
look
say
at
Noodles?
look at like if you look at like the face on the robot, it sort of looks like where its neck and mouth are. That's like its mouth. Like
I know. I couldn't quite figure out what the design was on that.
No,
It's
but
just
I know
one
it's like not that, but it's sort of funny because it looks like a mouth, and it's sort of funny.
Yeah.
It's gonna eat you.
It does
It's like,
have yeah, it's a
"Ah!"
slightly weird, like open skull. But this is the part that Baz and I were laughing at. It's like, look, you can have a really expensive telepresence robot out at the International Space Station, and you can just let go and float around. And it's like, oh, there goes all the telepresence robots, right?
You be anywhere
Be
beyond
anywhere.
presence.
But again, I mean,
For like social
eventually you're going to
distance.
get to the point where the virtual reality is going to be as real as the real reality, right? We put on
Okay,
the
can I say
headset. You
something?
want to know the difference.
I think my
What's that?
power's. I think my
yeah,
internet's
so
going out.
tabless batteries. So basically, I think the idea they're not infinite, but I'm pretty sure they're supposed to increase 5 times the energy, 6 times more powerful, and 16% range increase for Tesla vehicles.
These aren't the dry cell ones, right? The dry lithium, whatever it's called.
I have no clue. It's called a tabless battery.
Huh. Tabless battery.
Navi Ninja's like, no, don't go that way. In Pax Moon.
Can you do me a favor? Can you throw that link in the stream chat?
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
just go.
Imagine that. A telepresence robot tour of Chernobyl. So you could go and check out where that whole meltdown happened. Huh.
What meltdown?
Oh, look at that. So apparently it might be...
Do you not know Chernobyl, Noodles?
Talking about nuclear stuff in here.
Look at that. You mentioned nuclear, and then all of a sudden Alan appears. How are you, buddy?
My spidey sense went off.
That's it. As soon as you heard nuclear.
Someone somewhere was talking about nuclear stuff.
Well, maybe, so who better to explain this than Alan? Because Alan
and
actually worked
Tesla
with these
batteries
things.
too. So you got me on both.
Oh, right, of course, because you play with the Teslas. All right, so here you go.
Yes.
So first question, what happened
Where's
to
this
Chernobyl?
link? Hold on, I gotta find the link. Oh, Chernobyl? Ha!
And why didn't it happen on your subs?
I was gonna say the same kind of thing happens on our subs, but I'm stopping myself because no.
Right,
The physics works the same.
right,
But our submarines do not have the design defects that Chernobyl had.
right.
So
Right.
you can still
And-
get yourself in trouble on even a nuclear submarine, but we have procedures specifically to stop us from doing the kinds of things that the people at Chernobyl did.
Right.
Because
I
what happens
see.
is there's
Yeah.
so reactors will continue to operate. It's sort of a balancing act. Like
Hmm.
the whole chain reaction thing for a nuclear reactor is a balancing act. You have things that will promote like the reaction to go up, and there are
Hmm.
things that will cause the reaction to go down, right?
Right.
And all these things are all these different decaying of different things going on, all these different processes going on at the same time in this sort of mixing pot of uranium and other stuff, right? And part of the decay chain is this thing called xenon, which is a poison. But the xenon is eaten up by the fact that you still have reaction going on. So the extra neutrons will like sort of accelerate the xenon breaking down further, so then it's not a poison anymore because it's decayed to something else.
Right.
But if you run the reactor at really low power, if you were running it at really high power and then you run it at really low power for a little bit, the xenon is still a decay thing from the reaction you just had going on a few minutes ago, but without a bunch of power with neutrons flying around.
To break it down
Currently,
further.
the xenon builds up.
Hmm.
Doesn't have something else to get rid of it,
Right.
right? And if you let it build up too high, it can get you to a point where you actually like can't restart the reactor. Like it can shut itself down all the way or try to.
Well, because it
Because
just
this poison,
suffocates it,
because
basically?
this poison is building up. Now you would normally counteract that by pulling the rods out,
Hmm.
right? Because the rods are also a poison, but the more you pull them out, you're basically removing the rods from the core.
When you say poison, you don't mean poison. You mean poison to the reaction?
It's a poison to the reaction. That's
Right,
that's
okay.
the term
Yeah.
to use. It just slows down the reaction, right?
Ooh.
That's
Yeah, no,
Yeah, so
Chernobyl.
at Chernobyl, they had this thing happen that I just described, and then they tried pulling the rods way up to counteract it, and then they're like, okay, well, then they got somewhere they didn't feel comfortable, and then they went to, because they basically had the rods like all the way out,
right.
and they still weren't like where they needed to be, right? And then they're like, well, when they finally like when things started going haywire, and they're like, well, crap, let's put the rods back in. The way that Chernobyl had their control rods designed was the bottom few inches of the rods were not made of a poison material. They were actually just made of like carbon, which actually the carbon displaces the water.
It's keeping it cool.
Now I'm gonna muck this up. Basically, the first few inches that the rods go into the core was the opposite of being a poison, just by the reactor's design.
Right. So the reactor reacted to the top of them instead of dying.
It actually accelerated it.
Right.
When normally putting the rods in would, slow it down, right? So you sort of had this window of this. They actually did that because of the type of the way they fueled the reactors was not very enriched. Like the submarine reactors are very small; they don't have room for extra fluff, right? So they go through all this very extensive processes to make sure that the uranium is extremely pure, right?
Right.
Chernobyl, it was just Russian stuff. They were just slapping these things together, basically, right? So
it was cheap.
It wasn't that pure. So in order to overcome that, in order to even be able to start up the reactor, they intentionally made the bottom few inches of the rods more reactive.
Right.
Right. So that way it would sort of help them. It would sort of help them start the reaction.
Right.
In a way, right? But they were operating so far out of the intended design and procedure of all this stuff that when they were so far out of bounds that when they finally like realized, oh crap, we need to shut this thing off, it basically I don't know if they went this term, it's called prompt critical, but that's where for a very brief moment in time the reactor is trying to act like a bomb.
Right. Which is kind of there's a really good description of it. Hang on one sec, Wolf Pup. There's a really good description in the series, yeah. And he uses a series of little blocks, and he shows, was it blocks or like wooden,
little cards,
little cards that he put up. And I thought it was brilliant because all of a sudden even someone like me could sort of figure it out. So are we gonna say Wolf Pup?
I was going to say there's a game called Chernobylite where they got drones or something, and the game is actually put in Chernobyl, and I just want to tell you, if I randomly stop talking for like a while, my internet just went out for a second, and it's back up. So
very good.
I don't know if it's
you
going
cycling
to
through
I heard the same thing. So I think, David, your voice like ducks out occasionally. Like
does it?
I don't know, maybe.
It's possible it might be off mic. That might do it.
Oh.
It's the. I still haven't said.
Anyway,
the sound.
Where's this Tesla battery link? Now you got me wondering.
Yeah, what's the Tesla battery?
The diamond battery. I need to find it. I heard of it, but
Noodles.
They had a battery day thing like a few months ago where they went through all these different technologies that they were working on
it's
and
called a diamond battery. It says it will cost 7 to 8K US because it would never run out.
Well,
that sounds like fake news.
Yeah, infinite powers.
28,000. It says 28,000 years.
I
couldn't
find it when I searched it up. I just got tabless battery, which basically says
nano diamond battery that lasts for 28,000 years.
Well, does that mean that like you can keep recharging it?
I would have thought so. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It might be the one that's like puts out an extremely tiny amount of power, but can do it for a very long time.
Here is the link that I found.
Oh, here we go.
But it doesn't. I've never heard of mining.com. That sounds a little dubious. So it's a U.S. startup company that says it's called NDB. The company says it's created the first and only universal self-charging nano diamond battery that provides thousands of years of charge. Announced that 2 of its proofs of concepts achieved a breakthrough 40% charge.
Was this the one that was like self-charging off of like background radiation?
Diamond Nuclear Voltaic. Makes sense?
I know we can trust this website because it's powered by the mining industry's most trusted media brands, like Canada Mining
it's
Journal.
DNV, Diamond Nuclear Voltaic, and is one of the earliest adopters. Nope, I don't. You'll have to have a look at that. It's all.
Okay, I
all
found the
Greek to
game
me.
that I was talking about.
It
that I
sounds
wanted to
very, very fishy, as James Gurney says.
Yeah,
No, this was a
like
thing a
says-
few years ago. There
Was
was
it?
like somebody talking about it.
And there's a bunch of stuff that on the all the ads on the site. It's like, how well do you know the cost of mining equipment? Take the quiz.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they're saying it can keep recharging without diminishing returns. Okay.
Oh,
so
it's,
they were talking about this with the lithium.
Yeah,
right?
it's using. Oh, are you talking about a different thing now?
No, yes, I probably am. Yeah.
The
But go
diamond battery
ahead.
thing was like a carbon-14 decay battery.
Hmm. Really? So the same thing that we
Uh,
use to carbon date things is used to create electricity, like small
Yeah,
amounts of
but
electricity?
very very tiny.
Right.
Like you can't, or if it's in anything portable, it's gonna. There's not a good history of portable nuclear reactors.
Yeah, generally not. But they were going
uh,
to. There was so much promise. They just, because of the accidents, and I think I'd
Well,
heard
there
there
was-
was a
have
lot
you ever
of
heard of
lobbying by the industries.
You ever heard of SL1?
No.
Actually, where are you putting links? Because wherever you're putting links, I'm not seeing them.
Oh, I'm just in the stream chat, in the Twitch chat.
Oh, you're putting them in Twitch. Oh,
That's
okay.
where the chat's.
And Tech Bandits live chat.
Yeah. That's. Oh no, that. Yeah, I should look at that, but I really
Yeah.
do.
SL1 was basically the army wanted to be able to make like small, relatively portable nuclear reactors
Mm-hmm.
for out in the field, right? Because
Right.
you don't got any power. That would be great. So they did this experiment in the 60s,
Right.
and it was such a portable reactor that the way that you moved the control rods was you literally walked over to the top of the reactor and you grabbed it and you pulled.
Wow.
And somebody, one of the operators, for some reason, a little too vigorously pulled the control rod a little bit too far too fast. And sort of the way that you had to pull the control rods was you had to sort of like stand. I mean, they weren't light, right? So you had to like stand over this assembly and like grab the thing and like kind of lean over it and pull, right?
Mhm.
Well, he pulled it, and he pulled it too far, and the water in the reactor instantly flashed to steam,
Mhm. Fired
turning
it
the
out.
reactor into a steam kettle and impaling said person into the ceiling with said control rod.
I've heard this story. In fact, I think they might have even brought that up in Chernobyl as a sort of.
What?
I don't think they mentioned it in the Chernobyl thing.
Well, there was something about someone getting hit by the things.
Oh yeah, there was that stuff happened in Chernobyl, but different. That was not a control rod. That was like,
Interesting.
But this was
So-
such a small reactor that you would literally just walk up to it and grab the control rod. Like that's like,
Yeah.
I can't even believe that's somebody designed it that way. It's
Well,
not
I guess
great.
I mean they're talking about warfare. I guess they're talking about they just it's like down and dirty. We need power in the middle of a war. I guess that's the
Yeah.
the idea, right?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
also,
well,
we
it was
didn't know,
it was
right?
experimental though, right?
Yeah.
Like they weren't using this in the field at that moment. This was like even more down and dirty, right? Because they're just like, hey, can we make this thing work? All right, well, how
Mm-hmm.
are we gonna make the control rods move? We gonna have a mechanism for it? Well, for now, we'll just send Ranger Joe in there,
Mm.
and he can grab the rod and move
Hey,
it.
pull that rod out, would you?
Let's hope he survives.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
luck, bud.
How far?
Hey,
How far should I pull it? Smidge.
get
and-
off the ceiling, buddy.
Oh,
Yeah.
about the Chernobyl thing,
Mhm.
there's a game where they 3D, like they used a scan thing,
Mm.
and they got the whole bit of what was affected by Chernobyl, and they made it into a horror game.
Oh wow! So they actually scanned the landscape, or they
Yeah.
used scans of the landscape,
Yeah,
or they just
Yeah.
recreated what they knew of it.
No, they actually got a scan thing, and they scanned the places that weren't. They
Wow.
scanned from where it wasn't radiated into where it was radiated, and there's a game, and it's a horror game. I've watched my dad play it for a bit, but I didn't really.
Well, the idea is
watch
that
much
they've
of it.
mutated people or animals or something, and you have to battle them.
Yeah, this
No.
Chernobyl thing, I think it's the worst nuclear disaster ever recorded. Well, actually,
yeah.
that ever happened.
Well,
unless,
I mean,
like,
unless you
cavemen people.
count the nuking of 2 cities during the Second World War, I guess. But that's
Well,
Yeah.
that wasn't a
Actually,
nuclear
the
accident. That was
radiation-
Yeah, there was no
nuclear
accident.
intentional.
yeah, exactly.
That
no, that
was
was on purpose.
intentional,
That's
Ollie.
different.
But the big disaster in Japan in 2011,
Yeah,
That-
Fukushima.
Yeah, that was pretty
that was
extraordinary.
not as bad as this. That was
Really?
not.
Well, the
Yeah.
'cause
technology had moved
Fukushima-
on.
Fukushima didn't release
Yeah.
as much as Chernobyl did. Like Chernobyl was literally the top blew off of the thing and blew a hole in the building and was just spewing for days.
Well, and Japan reported their problems, whereas
Until they
Russia
actually noticed.
tried to ignore them. I remember as a kid when this happened, not a kid, I was probably like a teenager, and I remember it being kind of a nightmare because I think it was like Sweden or someone who said like, we have a radioactive cloud going over. Where did that come from? And the rest of the world was like, oh my God, what's happened? And, watching this series, I mean, the series is spectacular. It's miserable, but it's spectacular. Again,
The
one of my
sad thing
favorite
is that
actors of all time.
even if they did like start telling people right away, like given
What are you gonna
just
do?
the sheer, I mean, look at what even they had to do to try to contain that thing,
Yeah.
right? So like,
They could have moved the people.
well, yes, they should have immediately moved the people and all that other stuff. So that's one aspect of it. But from the aspect of like just a lot of that stuff was airborne like within the first day, right?
We
So like
had
how even if they told the world, how quickly could people have gotten there and figured out some way to put a cap on that thing? It would have been faster. Don't get me wrong, but still, it would probably still be the worst nuclear accident ever, even if they told
And
everybody.
let's hope it stays that way. We have a
yeah.
friend who was in Ukraine at the time, and they would have
Chernobyl,
they were required to do these marches every so often. These like, oh, everything's great marches, and all these students would be forced outside into these marches.
Yep.
And they came back with these terrible sunburns, and they couldn't figure out why because there was no sun. It was all rather cloudy and moody, and they were sent off to do picking of vegetables and fruits and things. Again, then there was this weird dust all over all of the fruits and vegetables that they were eating, and it was all just fallout from Chernobyl. So there's a whole. I think we'll probably, when you say it's the worst,
I can't hear anything.
you can't hear
Who's
anything from
typing?
us.
Not me.
No, not me. It's probably Baz. Baz has got nice loud keyboards,
Yeah,
but
this is crazy though.
Yeah, it was the worst by a lot.
But it's too bad because the reality is the technology is
God.
sound. It works. It's just that I think people are very worried about the waste product, which has a half-life of God knows how many thousands of years or whatever it is, right?
Do you know how many? It's gonna take like 200,000 years for Chernobyl to be like habitable.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
there is a long, well, I don't know if it's 200,000, but there is a pretty long half-life of uranium-235. I thought it was something like, I don't want to spit out a wrong number.
But it is in the thousands of years for sure.
No, some of them maybe it's 238. Some of them are like 58 years or something like that. But that's only the half-life, right? So you need to wait a few of those.
Right, exactly. And not all of them die in that time. That's just the average, isn't that right?
Well, there's wait a minute. 235 is 4.5 billion years. Oh wait, no, that's 238.
What were they
It's gonna
using?
take
35 is
10
700 million.
years for
Wait a minute. Some of those are shorter, but not the uraniums. Yeah.
The scary thing thinking of, what if that happens to Earth? Like the full entire of Earth.
If something like that happens
What do
to
you-
Earth?
What do you mean?
We're dead.
Well,
There's
that was
nothing
everyone's
less than
fear during the Cold War, right? Was that, and I suppose still to this day, if we all started firing, nuclear ballistic missiles at each other, then we could radiate more than, more
Oh,
than
I
just a
know.
couple
I
of
know what
places.
I know what I'm mixing up. I think the. Let's see. Xenon. Let's see. Xenon half-life. Probably don't have the right isotope. That's like 12 days.
You never have the right isotope when you need it.
Well, I'm trying to go back, 15 years here on.
What's an isotope?
There were some. There
What
was
is
some
an
other. Isotope is different number of neutrons.
So an
So
isotope
it's the
is
same-
instead of
It's the same
normal
thing, but it has a
amount
different
of-
number of neutrons to it. So they'll be like uranium-235 and uranium-238.
So they're both
Right.
uranium, but they have different numbers of neutrons.
I'm
And is
hoping
that
I'm not
artificial?
mixing this up.
Are they artificial? Are all isotopes artificial? Like, do we have to create them, or are they?
No. You get naturally occurring 235 and 238 in different proportions.
Right.
And then if you refine it, you can sort of purify it and get more of the one and less of the other. Like you want more 235. 235 is the better one to have. But if memory serves, 238 I think is the more common one. So you have to go out of your way to get more of the 235 out of it.
But we've got to the point now where we are extremely efficient with how we use this stuff, right? Hey, who's clicking?
Oh,
Baz?
as far as what?
Baz, dude, you need
Baz's
to mute
keyboard
while
is
you're
lovely.
playing, bud. Thanks, kiddo.
Oh, I just want to say for people here and in the chat, on Epic Games on this Thursday, Battlefront goes free. Battlefront 2.
Which is Battlefront.
It's Star Wars.
Oh.
Really? That's a good game.
Battlefront
that
2
got Baz's attention.
Celebration Edition goes free on the 14th, 2 days.
Why free? Was
gotta
that just
check
some
that
kind of a?
It's because Epic Games gives out a free game every week, and I've got some games that most of my games are from the free one. Like I have Watch Dogs, Hello Neighbor, Super Hot, Pikuniku, Hitman, Surviving Mars, Rogue Company, Watch Dogs.
And a lot of hard drive space.
Now that Fortnite died, they're doing everything in their power to get people back on Epic Games.
Oh, is that what it is? Well, wait a sec. This is Game Bandits. We'll talk about this on Thursday. Wait a sec. So we talked to Alan about
Wait,
Chernobyl.
Thursday?
What was the other thing? The battery. We've talked about the battery. What batteries do they use in the Tesla right now?
They're just lithium ion.
Just lithium ion. And the
Well, I
new
mean, there's
lithium,
different variants of them. Like there's lithium, cobalt. I forgot the third part.
We don't like cobalt because of the way they mine it. But
Yeah, so they're switching that out for silicon,
oh.
like silicon anodes.
And then there's this new lithium which no longer requires. There's no liquid in it, so it doesn't deteriorate.
Yeah, that's the
same.
dry. That's the dry deposition. That's how they make the. That's how they basically make the roll
Mhm.
for the battery. So it's like rolled up, and that's why the battery's like circular because there's a roll of the anode and cathode materials next to each
Right.
other.
Right.
And usually you have to do this wet process. You're basically, how do you get metals to dissolve in a liquid? They're really nasty liquids, right? And you have to use this liquid to get it on the cathode or whatever in the first place. And then you have to bake that stuff off and recollect it because you can't just put it out into the air and stuff because it's just too nasty. So that's this huge process that you don't want to have to deal with. And so there was a different company that was making these supercapacitors. I think they're Maxwell Technologies, and they had a process to do that same step but completely dry. Somehow they can powder up the lithium or whatever and get it onto the thing without any liquid involved. And it saves a whole bunch of time, right? And you don't have to go through all this, extra steps in the process.
It's cheaper
right?
and more efficient.
The cheaper, uses less space in the factory, more efficient. All of the above. That's why they bought another company to get that technology.
Really?
Right. So yeah,
Wow.
Like,
So, and
didn't
that's
even
what's
bat
going to
an
be
eye.
in the new whatever the new Teslas are. They're going to be using them.
I would imagine eventually. Like, I don't think they have, there probably still needs more R&D to make it happen, but
Right.
I don't think they would have bought the company if they didn't think they could
Yeah,
make
exactly.
it happen.
Yeah. Unless Elon was
Um,
just wanted to get out on Twitter and up the value by mentioning it a few times.
Yeah,
He
and there
seems
was
to like
a
doing.
and there was a bunch of other stuff they did. It was like some Tesla battery day thing a few months back.
Yeah.
Like they talked about all these different advances they were making on all these different fronts. Like they're trying to get to the point where they can just take the lithium straight into the factory, not do any of the regular processing steps that would happen after you mined the lithium. Like
Hmm.
they're just like trying to cut out every possible extra step and just make it, like how fast can we possibly make good batteries?
Sidewinder
Um,
here is talking about a company in Alberta that's actually planning on, but extracting lithium and minerals from water from around the Fox Creek oil and gas field. Huh.
Yep, that's another one
That'd be
because
good.
there is lithium and them there fields.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? All right, so we got.
We're talking about VR and about nuclear power. What if we get
That's your fault.
humans?
You took us to Chernobyl.
I know.
Oh yeah,
I'm,
so were you playing? Oh, you weren't playing Super Hot VR. You were playing David. What were you playing in VR the other day? You said it was like this crazy workout.
Beat
You know what
Saber.
was great was Beat Saber.
Oh, Beat Saber, yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah, Beat Saber's
And it
good.
doesn't make me sick. Although one of the things that I put in our show notes today was apparently 4 out of 10 people suffer motion sickness with VR. So that's
Oh.
going to be a big problem with getting people to adopt this. And they're saying
Honestly, honestly, it's really down to what locomotion thing you choose. Like if you try to
for
if you try to
me-
do the thing where you're holding a joystick and you think you're gonna push up, down, left, and right, and
Mhm.
like it like you're playing a first person shooter.
dude,
and
I
you
can
know,
I get sick in first person shooters.
Well, right, and it would be even worse in VR because
Yeah.
like your thumb, your body is not used to your thumb controlling your body moving,
Exactly.
like your actual body, right? So,
There's some neat
so that really,
ways around that,
it even
though.
throws me for a loop.
What's neat about
Right,
it is
like-
that they've said that there are ways around, like a number of these like VR focused YouTube channels. I have a couple of them in our list here. We're saying that they started off same thing. They had motion sickness, and there's still some games that they just can't play, but they were able to sort of mitigate it using literally like ginger ale, a fan, and just stopping as soon as they felt any kind of discomfort. And eventually that would build up as they went along. So they could do longer
Yeah.
and longer stints.
But honestly, just the teleporting thing makes it way easier.
Oh yeah. They said in-game settings as well. But I'm at the point where I played Beat Saber. I looked around a little bit and then I was like, okay, I'm now going to step out because I'm going to get sick. And Baz,
There is
you were
a-
saying Baz got a bit flushed this afternoon, didn't you?
I don't know if there is a Chernobyl, like walk around Chernobyl thing for VR or not, but there is a Sistine Chapel one that's pretty amazing.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Um,
I mean, especially
you-
nowadays.
do what?
Especially nowadays when we can't go anywhere.
Right. Yeah. I think it's just called like Il Divino or something. It's on
Hmm.
Steam. But
Noodles,
Yes.
Sistine Chapel VR. You want to find that?
What?
what the Sistine Chapel is?
Sistine- No, I can't hear what you're saying. What?
It's in. Oh, is it that bad? Is it that hard to hear me?
No, just the first words a bit muddled.
Oh, I see. It's the Sistine Chapel
Oh.
VR. So you basically get to walk around the Vatican where a lot of people can't be. Although they're saying apparently the Vatican, because it's its own little country, they're all going to be vaccinated. And they're also all over about 80, but you know.
yeah, I would imagine that would be a priority.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
you know. 'cause-
That's really pretty. Like
Isn't
I've heard
it?
of it before.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
imagine being
it's
able to
on
walk
Steam
around there
right
in
now.
VR.
It's called. Here, do you want me to put?
Il Divino?
Put the link in.
Yeah,
Il Divino? Yeah.
I have the link. Okay, let me.
Perfect. Yeah,
See-
just put
It's
it in the chat. so
it's
people
it's
can
good because like there's this little thing that looks like a hoist in the corner, and like if you click on it, it like sort of teleports you up to the ceiling, so you can like
It looks
literally
like a
be
fishing rod.
you can be looking at it as if like you were on the scaffolding painting
Huh.
it, right? And
Yeah,
and
because you
go
have
around to all the
access at
different.
places that you wouldn't be able to access any other way.
That's
yeah.
really cool.
It's one of the reasons why I love the idea of telepresence robots as well. I mean, one of the things, like a subtle thing in that video that we showed earlier, was that, as Baz pointed out, there are these surrogate robots all over the world, is the idea. So in the same way that you would rent a car, you would rent a telepresence, one of these robots that could then do the tour of the Sistine Chapel for you, or could walk through Chernobyl and not worry about radiation, or, you know, well, basically anything else. Deep sea diving.
Or do a crude version of that food cooking robot.
Yes, exactly. Do a really bad version where it basically, stand back, humans. My telepresence is going to cook.
Yeah, no, stand back. By the way, my mother's coming to cook today, but she lives like across, like she lives in Australia. We live in
Right.
Canada, but
Yeah.
we have a telepresence robot.
Give Grandma a hug.
Give Grandma a hug.
Ah, Grandma!
And this, she could actually feel, yeah, death grip. No,
Like crushes you.
Grandma!
That's it.
All I can think of when you said, when I think of that, I think of robots getting like feelings, and all I can think of is Detroit Become Human when I think of robots become human. So my brain keeps going back to, are we talking about Detroit Become Human?
But what's neat about
Really?
these
Because
is
for
you don't
me, when you
need-
said give grandma a hug, I instantly thought of the Bite of 87.
The what?
Yeah,
Sorry.
that also.
What is that?
Wolf Pup would know that. Five Nights at Freddy's lore.
Oh, the Friday. Oh, my God. Well, I think what's neat, though, is that you almost don't have to worry as much. So the AI can just be responsible for smoothing out the actions and maybe predicting some of the motions that you're going to do, so that it creates less of a lag. But you wouldn't have to worry about the robot doing the thinking, because you are the robot. You stick on your headset, you stick on your tactile gloves, or your what do you call it? A something suit? Haptic suit. Put on your haptic
Is it-
suit, and then you're
The
walking around.
haptic suit.
Oh, could you imagine doing like shooting games, like paintball games, only with robots? Like Rock'em Sock'em
Oh, I thought you were gonna
robots.
say with the haptic suit.
With a haptic suit, yeah. Some robot comes in and kicks you in that stomach, and you're like. The other thing that I thought was really neat, because I'm trying to think of like, what are other reasons for VR that would be useful to me other than just gaming? Because gaming, I feel like, is going to be limited use for me because of my motion sickness. Even when I get better at it, I still feel like it's going to be.
There's so many VR games I want to try.
But
There's
what
there's Tilt Brush. You can like do art in 3D.
Oh yeah, you can actually do 3D art that you can walk around. That's pretty neat.
I don't know what the game's called, but there's a game where you do graffiti in VR.
That's it. I think that's the one.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
Tilt Brush.
The other thing that I
Give
thought
me
was
a
kind of neat.
sec.
And I thought it was really cool watching it, and I really wanted to play it because it looks so cool and it seemed so creative.
Oh yeah, that's probably it.
The other thing that I
'Cause
thought
you-
would be neat would be like instead of doing these with just voice. I mean, this is going to seem archaic soon, where
I'm
it's like,
talking
oh, there's a
about,
couple of video cameras
like a
and
game called like
microphones.
King
You can
Spring or
have
something.
virtual reality where we all throw on our headsets, and then we're all in, maybe Baz's VR chat or whatever.
There's some games like that. It's actually I know we're crossing the streams on the sci-fi genres, but there's a pretty good Star Trek VR game.
Like VR holodeck type thing.
I know VR Star Trek.
It's a Star Trek Bridge Commander. Like you're
Yeah,
on the bridge
you're
with
on
3
the
other
ship.
people.
Yeah, and you have to command the ship, and
And you
everyone's
each
in a
take
different
roles,
spot.
don't you? That's right.
Yeah.
That's-
Give me a sec.
So, but again,
Don't
like,
talk and nobody explodes
on.
VR. That would be fun to play.
Oh,
Which
that's
one?
fun. That's fun.
which one?
Star Trek Bridge Commander.
You
Or
need to
Bridge
press
Crew.
the
I think
red
it's Bridge
button.
Crew.
Well,
Oh, you
so
want me to
imagine.
press the green button?
So imagine doing that with, instead of like an imaginary spaceship, do it with a nuclear submarine or a plane
That's true.
or a ship or a submarine. Like, all of these things are available to us. You can do a virtual run, see how it goes, and then hop in and actually control a robot or a ship or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Wait,
they
why-
have simulators for different thing, like different aspects of the submarine for people to train on, but they're usually like the actual thing, like
Right.
the actual switchboards, the actual like place the same piece of equipment that you would be sitting at on the submarine, only it's wired up to some computers to pretend to be a reactor.
Right.
As
So
an
it's
example,
more like a
right?
movie set than a.
I
VR
just
thing.
thought of something.
Well,
Do you know
a
how,
really good movie set.
Right.
do you know how some people need to move from their homes to go to work?
Yeah.
They could just get a VR, and instead of moving homes, they could just use the virtual reality thing to work at the job, so they can
It's
still stay
funny.
home instead of moving all the time.
It's
So
funny
you're
you should
basically
say that
saying-
because this is what Oculus is promising, right? So they're saying, let's.
Dad,
What is
you're
that?
incredibly quiet. I don't know if it's just me.
Oh, is it?
Not
Why-
just
no,
you.
I
Why
agree.
not?
You're a bit quiet.
I have my
Oh, maybe it's in
headset
maybe in
up
chat.
to
Oh, skip the
24
ads,
when I
skipping
normally
the
have it at.
ads. Hang on, let me just skip
like
this ad.
2.
Here we go.
Are you
So-
talking?
What? This isn't the right one.
You can't hear
I know.
you.
I don't know if you're talking.
Oh,
I
me?
can hear it
If I'm
very
talking?
slightly.
I'm looking. Let me see. Have we lost me entirely from a sound standpoint?
No, we hear
I
you
hear you.
now.
Oh, okay. So I think what's let me see.
I
if
don't-
can
I
go
don't-
back. Well, Baz, check your settings then, bud. Okay, what do we got? Copy that. I wanted to show you this one from Oculus because what I thought was neat was they've created what they call the Infinite Office. So the idea is that you don't have to go and buy multiple displays or a big office space. You just have a virtual office space where everyone can work together, and you have, like, if you want a 150-inch monitor, you got that. You can have multiple screens. You can have little things to work on. I thought that was kind of a neat approach and use for it. I mean,
Wait,
Alan, you have one of
I
these
have a
things.
question.
Is it good enough? Is it comfortable enough to wear in an office-like way?
It depends, cause it's comfy for me, but I know some people say like, no, it hurts your head too much. But if
Right.
you wear it too much, then it feels bad.
What? What
Right.
hurts your head?
Wearing a VR for too long, because
If you have it at like an uncomfortable position, yeah.
the HTC that I have, it's it's not mine, it's my dad's.
Yes, so's ours. But again, you're looking. So the video you're looking at right now is the Oculus one, and I suddenly went, well, I would love to be able to you could walk into an empty room, put on a VR headset, and you've got all the computers you need right there, basically, or at least
What
monitors.
I'm thinking
for that.
of is
Yeah.
because do you know how when you have the headset on the front of it, how it's so big?
Hmm.
Some of them they're not good equally. Like the front isn't equal to the back,
Hmm.
so your head it hurts your neck.
Because it's sort of pulling you forward the whole time. But that will change
Yeah.
too. I mean, as the technology gets better, like cell phones, they'll get smaller and smaller. Be able to do
I
more
also
and more.
want to. I also want to say that our necks were built for holding up our heads. They can deal with it.
Well, but I mean,
No, they weren't because the Oculus Rift. Well, they were. Sorry.
they weren't built for adding weight to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I know.
But yes, we can put up with it right now. But the question is, if you start using them instead of monitors, then you're wearing it all the time.
Yeah.
Then
They
you're
were
gonna
talking
get
about
a
these-
generation of people with neck problems.
Which you're going to
Oh,
have
that'll be
anyways
fine.
because you're all hunched up over your phones all the time. But, what was I gonna
Says
say?
you. You're always hunched over your phone.
Oh, no. And
I'm
I've got the most
sitting
terrible
like-
posture because of it.
Trust me, neck problems are a thing. I had to get a shot on my neck.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Barnacles just had to get that done too in his back.
yeah. Well,
So you got a shot
technically
in
in
your
my
neck,
back, but like
repetitive-
lower neck, upper back. Like I had a
Repetitive
herniated
stress.
disc.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Don't even know how I did it.
Well, I mean,
And trust me, they suck because
Yeah,
your
I'm
arm
sure.
goes numb and stuff.
Backs are terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Backs are like nature's cruel joke. That and elbows and knees. But
Everything, all of it.
again, these are all these things that like my parents would say when I was growing up, like sit up, you'll hurt your back, and it'd be like, yeah, whatever, old folks. I'll
Yeah.
I'll be dead before I'm 30. Well, of course, you hit 30 and everything starts hurting. So,
Uh-huh.
you know, me being very close to 30, closer to 60 at this point. But so that was another thing I wanted to mention. I just like the idea of using VR. Like I understand it as a gaming platform. I go, oh, that's okay. It's not for me, but it's cool. But the idea that it could be used as a technology going forward is very exciting to me. The idea that it could be.
David.
Yeah.
I think someone called Warzies just like sent a donation.
What?
Because they were asking if donation notifications go on stream, and they said
They would if Dad opened up Streamlabs. Sorry, Dad.
I guess I did something wrong.
Always make sure to keep Streamlabs open when you're streaming because you don't want someone donating like $100 asking if you could say their name, and then you be completely not knowing it is, and then being $100 the other day.
Thanks for waiting.
Thank you
till
so
after the
much
stream
for the
for yelling at me.
donation.
All right,
David
We
who
don't
was
know
it?
doing
the
it
full
wrong.
of the donation because David doesn't know how to use computers, but we appreciate it very
Who
much.
was it? Who do we know? Do we
Know how
know
to
who it
use
was?
the computers. Open
Listen.
up Streamlabs
Listen, we all know
right now.
David could fix a Quadria reactor
Yeah,
with a toothpick and a paperclip.
exactly. But when it
Really?
comes to the real world,
Only
I'm completely
play
doomed.
smart on TV.
I
But
play
if
smart on
you
TV.
sit him in front of Streamlabs, he is the
Streamlabs
quivering
keeps-
pile of Jello.
Yeah, Streamlabs keeps getting me to try to
The thing is
log
that
in.
he's not even sitting in front of Streamlabs. He doesn't have it open, which
No,
is
I don't
why
have it
I'm
open.
so angry.
I don't think I have it installed on this computer.
Yes, you do. I
You were just
installed
using
it.
it the other day,
On the
weren't you?
Mac? Is it on the Mac?
Oh, are you on the trash can, Mac?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm on the trash can Mac.
Why trash Mac?
I'm on both computers. I've got a PC going and the Mac, all in the hopes of it not
Then
crashing
open
and
it
dying.
on the PC
Okay,
laptop.
let's get to the important part. Who was it who donated that I could say thank you
Verzies.
to? Who was it?
WERZYYS.
If you donated, sorry that everybody's
Wait,
fighting about if you
No,
donated.
they donated. They just asked the donation messages
Oh.
pop on the stream.
Oh,
No.
they just asked about it. I see.
Oh, they actually
no,
said I
they
already
don't
did it. I'm
until
pretty
I
sure.
open Streamlabs. Apparently, wait a sec. Let's go to Streamlabs. All right, I'm going to go to
So
Streamlabs.
just
I'm gonna open
please,
this thing
For the
you know what you
lots
could do is you
of
could come down
Cheez-Its.
and be my wingman on this
Cheese?
stuff.
Is it?
Uh,
David, you really go. Oh, never mind.
I never remember to do these things. It's a
No,
new thing for me.
uh,
It's hard enough for me to get the sound working. Okay, Streamlabs.
Also, David, I have a
OBS.
very important question. Are we
Okay.
changing our schedule to Tuesdays and Thursdays? Because I must
We
know
don't
this.
know.
We
before
have
you
no
change this.
schedule.
Because, like, I've scheduled every.
we don't know.
There's no
Whenever
way to
we
know.
can.
It entirely
Okay.
depends on what I have to get done, I'm afraid. That's
Okay.
yeah. Monday I was gonna stream yesterday, but I thought it was better to stream today because we had some more stuff to talk about. But it's
Okay.
it does bounce around. Why? What do Tuesdays suck for you?
Well, no, they don't suck. I just have, like, piano in 3 minutes.
Ah, you got piano at 5:15. So we'll start at 5:15 on Tuesdays.
They can pencil you in.
Actually, but I might be able to, if we haven't been, we've actually almost been streaming for, what, 2 hours?
Well, I started early. I
Oh, yeah.
I
We
did an
started
awful
at
lot of Stargate Cam to start as I tried to figure out what the hell was going on. They want permission to use my.
Well, I might be able, if my piano lesson won't be like forever, so I might be able to probably, I can, after I finish, like, come back on.
Right. Okay.
Maybe.
Well, if you're don't rush.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll
James is right. We need more D&D.
and we need more D&D. It's true. When should we do D&D? Do you want to aim for like Friday?
No,
Tomorrow.
no, not Friday. Anything
Saturday.
but Friday.
Saturday.
Friday is literally the
Friday
worst
sounds
possible
great.
for you.
Not
No.
Friday.
All right,
my
we'll
birthday,
schedule this later.
please.
This is boring. Scheduling's boring. Plus, I suck at it. I'll
My
talk to.
birthday's on Friday. I can't be here on Friday, and I don't.
Your
wanna miss
birthday's on
another
Friday?
one. Yes.
Oh, it's perfect then. Well then,
No.
so D stats computer will be showing up the week of your birthday.
Oh yeah, that's good.
DStat,
Just
by the way,
not
DStat was
D&D, not on
responsible
Friday. I can
DStat,
do.
hang on,
can
Noodles.
do-
DStat was responsible for the PC components for
Yes, I
Noodles'
know.
computer.
Thank
So
you, DStat.
I know you
Well,
know, but
we're-
I'm making sure everyone else knows.
We're talking to chat.
I know you know that, but it's important to let people
Sorry,
know.
he said noodles because we needed to talk.
All right, wait a second. So I'm going to log into Twitch, apparently. All right. I have to log into Twitch to go into OBS? Whatever.
Wait, you're not logged into Twitch?
No, I'm logged into Twitch, of course, because otherwise I
I
wouldn't
just
be able
want
see
to
chat.
say, if stream goes down, we know that David
It's because I entirely
pressed
blame
the end
Baz.
stream button.
Yeah. I blame Baz if it all goes wrong. Just so you know.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
All Baz's fault.
I have to go right now, piano.
All right, you go. We may see
I
you
might be able to
later.
come back.
We may see you later. Very good.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your piano. Be brilliant.
And also, if we do a D&D stream, I would very much prefer it not be on Friday.
Don't do Friday. Don't do Friday.
That's okay.
Okay, what?
Thank you.
Well, we'll talk about dates. We'll talk about times later.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
See you later. All right. So I'm going. So definitely Friday.
Yeah. sounds-
All right. What do I got? God, I gotta log in and everything. Are you sure this is worth it, Baz?
Yes.
You want to
it
see
makes
when
it-
people give you money, or no? Do you just want to be disrespectful to all the people that have donated because they thought you're a kind streamer?
Oh my God, you are the you.
Oh, you
I've
gave me
raised
money?
a monster.
Thanks.
I've raised a monster. Okay, let me see what I've got here. That is the one.
Obviously, I haven't taught someone well enough to know how to
There we
stream.
go. He's still going. All right. So my username is going to be Tech Banditry, right?
I haven't taught the ways of streaming.
The streaming foo. All right. Here we go. Alan,
Speaking
how's
of
your
figuring
mining
out-
doing?
Speaking of figuring out how to. Oh wait, what were you gonna say?
How's your mining doing?
It's turns out that the stuff's in the garage,
Right.
and I thought that'll heat the garage. That'll be good. Well,
Right.
it's in the garage on the workbench, up against the wall behind the workbench is the same wall that is on the opposite side of that wall is my laundry room inside the house.
It's getting warm.
So I started to notice as I'm walking through the laundry room, I'm like, it's kind of toasty in this laundry room. That's an insulated wall.
right.
Like, what's going on here? So I busted out the FLIR thermal camera, and the wall
Ooh, I want
is
one of
90 degrees.
Yeah. 90 degrees.
The wall inside the house is 90 degrees.
Oh my God.
Well, now you're getting money and you don't need to have a
So
furnace.
how much are you making then, would you say on that? Are you allowed to say? Could you mind saying?
I mean, it's jumping all over the place, but it's like I don't know, it's somewhere around like $100 a day. It's like $100 a day.
I'm importing from That's not bad.
So basically,
it?
it's a garage space heater that pays you.
Well, that's and you're mining Ethereum right now.
Oh yeah.
But how many? So investment wise, though, how many GPUs is that?
How many GPUs are currently running in my garage? I believe 32.
How do you pay them back?
Oh, I bought those 3 years ago.
Okay.
They paid
So-
they paid themselves back about 3 years ago.
Oh, right, because you were doing this earlier, right? When it was actually worth something.
Yeah, and then it kind of like crashed like a couple of years ago, and then I mean technically it could have still been making money, but it got to the point where it was more of a headache than it was worth compared to
Right.
what it was making. So I just kind of shut it all off and disassembled it and stuck it all on a shelf.
Right.
And I was like, I procrastinated. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sell all these things off, and then my procrastination has paid off.
Because now
But-
now Bitcoin's back with the cryptocurrency's back with a vengeance.
Cryptocurrency, I was like literally just about to like pull the trigger and just sit down and go through all those things and list them all and sell them, whatever. And then sure enough, oh look, everything's back.
I finally
Okay.
got a trading account, which I won't use it as a serious investment, but I just think it'd be kind of fun to see what it's doing basically. But we should finish up with the VR stuff. Wait a sec. Okay, so VR stuff. The last thing you might want to look at is how VR works. So there's a video here about how VR actually works, which is kind of neat. Be fine.
Have you heard of full motion tracking VR? I thought that was cool because
Oh, what's that?
in games, I've watched people play a game called.
That is VR chat. A lot of people use full motion tracking. It's really funny.
What is it? I don't understand. What does it do?
Full body tracking.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
like
what
you
does
point.
that mean?
You either put more sensors on your body, or you get yourself a what the heck's that Xbox?
Oh,
Optic.
right, like a Kinect. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a Kinect. You can do other stuff.
Huh.
And like,
So basically, it just allows you to interact physically with the chat.
well,
Baz,
yeah,
can you
it
do that?
likes your body up here. Yeah.
It's funny because some people climb ladders in VR and you just see their character ascending.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Thank you, Norm. Okay, Tech Banditry. Yeah, so the one that I just posted is kind of a fun little piece done by, is it The Verge? Is that right? Let me have a quick look here. No, by Vox, which is just a little bit about how it works and how it tricks our brains into doing this stuff. The thing that Baz pointed out today, which I thought was interesting, was the sound. Because the whole idea of 3D sound really helps sell the whole VR experience.
Oh yeah, and it's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would say that VR sound is probably a bit ahead of the actual VR experience, if that makes sense.
Have you played Half-Life Alyx?
No.
Oh, that looks so cool.
It looks so good. Oh my god.
But it
Oh.
well, what's the level of comfort though? Because the other thing this video talks about is
Like
levels
the
of comfort.
worst. The worst. Uncomfortable.
If it's a first
No,
person
because
of any sort,
you
I'm
can
good.
you can do teleportation for the locomotion.
Yeah. Can you
Not bad.
teleport me to the bathroom so I can throw up? Because that's where I'm
Oh,
going.
it's not that bad.
It's really.
You'd be
it's
amazed,
bad.
Alan.
I don't
Like-
know. I mean, I know you're sensitive to it, but I do get sensitive to it like over a long period of time. But I must have done like 4 hours straight in Half-Life Alyx. Like I just got
Really?
consumed.
I am about as McKay as you get on this, in that I
know.
would be just sick and whining in no time at all.
You know, some of that sometimes is how you're adjusting the headset.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot
that-
of times when I played VR, I needed to sit down because I remember a time where I almost threw up, like, because I was playing Rec Room and I was playing the paintball thing.
That's when you
and-
stop.
Right after, I went to someone's rock climbing house, and because how real it felt,
Hmm.
I almost threw up. It's because it's like, oh my, because it felt like I was actually falling down.
Right.
Because
Yep,
I kept
sometimes it's make sure your headset position is good. Sometimes it's actually if your hardware is a little on the slow side and your frame rate ends up like. So
Dropping
which one do you
too
have?
low.
The Vive?
I think it's just the regular HTC.
That's
so it has
that's the
good
Vive.
frames.
But was it the developer kit version or the
We've got the developer
retail one?
kit version.
Okay, but I mean, basically, I think the experience is the same though. But so here's the point though. That headset refreshes at 90 frames per second unless your computer can't keep up with it,
Right.
and then it drops down to some even division
Mm.
of that number. So it'll drop to like 45 frames per second. It'll still be refreshing at 90, but it's only updating every other frame.
Mm.
And if it keeps toggling into and out of that on
That's
you,
gonna throw you off.
because like just the GPU isn't powerful enough to push it at full speed, or
Mm.
the game is just too heavy for it or whatever, like that'll really throw your brain for a loop,
Mm.
right? Because the world doesn't usually cut its frame rate in half around you, right?
Well, maybe not for you, Alan.
Well, you know, it really confuses your brain because like it still updates at 90 frames per second. If you're
Right.
turning your head, the image, like the perception of you turning your head is also in 90 frames per second. But the graphic content being updated for the game or whatever, that's being updated at 45 frames per second. So it's like this hyper realistic, you really think that you're looking in the room and turning your head. All that stuff is super real to you.
Mm.
But the stuff you're looking at is only updating every other frame,
Right.
which you know that kind of stuff will really, you know, you won't unless you know what to look for specifically, like you won't notice it and it will just contribute to making you just sick as hell.
Any
basically.
kind of disconnect between reality where your body thinks you're experiencing something that you shouldn't, it's going to start revolting, and then you're
Right.
revolting. Yeah, it's
Right.
definitely like, I feel like it's a technology that needs to be. They need to get to the point where it's 1 out of 10 people experience motion sickness using it, as opposed to 4 out of 10, because that seems like a pretty big number to start.
Yeah. What GPU do you have in that system?
What do we have, Baz? The i7? Is that right?
That's a CPU.
Oh, so which GPU? Oh, it's a
Yeah.
can't remember.
ATX 980.
There you go.
Oh, it's a
ATX
980. That's kind of on the. I mean that.
It was
that'll
the
work.
first VR friendly
Yeah.
computer that we built. So it was designed to work with the Vive, as I call it, because that's French.
Yeah. I mean that will work. It's just that the titles, the games have gotten a little bit more advanced than that hardware would probably prefer.
Oh, Wurzies. Wait a sec. How do I see? Where would I see the? Wait a sec. So Baz, I started your Streamlabs thing, and then what happened?
What?
I started it, but then how would I know? Oh, Wurzies. Hey, there you go. 8 minutes ago, I'm right on this. 8 minutes ago, Wurzies donated $5. Back in the day, Stargate was our best serial. We really like the technology and your role there. Thanks so much for making our childness so great. Oh, very good. Thank you very much. Thank you for throwing $5 at us. That's amazing. That's $5 closer to the latest in VR technology for all the tech bandits. Why am I seeing that? So thank you, Wurzies. Oh, there you go. So I didn't realize I have to keep another window open to look at. That's all. It's interesting. All right. So wait a sec. So oh, wow, look at that. Oh, and it tells you who followed too. Lots of follows too. Fantastic. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna be like the old streaming pros soon. All right, I think I've exhausted my list of topics for VR today. But let's go to chat for a second and see what else. Well, actually, first let's check with Alan. Alan, VR.
Huh?
What are you using it for
Yeah.
the most?
What am I using it for?
Yeah,
What?
you've got some kick-ass Valve thing, don't you?
Yeah, I've got the Valve Index.
Right. And what are you using it for mainly?
Just occasional gaming.
That's it.
So here's the thing. So you were looking at that, exploring the concept of, hey, I want this thing I could throw on and I have a computer in front of me.
Right.
So I don't know if you've experimented with this, but when you're in VR, when you're using your Vive
Yeah.
there, you can hit the menu option on the remote and you can pull up a desktop view of your PC.
Huh.
It's like on the bottom bar there in the little Steam menu thing, like the overlay that pops up when you hit one of the buttons on your remote.
So it's
Right.
like having a virtual desktop if you want anyways.
Yeah, so that thing you were just showing in the video, you can pull up of your own desktop while you're in VR. And the idea is if you need to tweak something on your PC, you shouldn't have to take the headset off just to manipulate something, right? Or potentially you could full screen a movie and just watch it that way. But
I was
Here's
saying
the
to Baz,
catch.
it'd be kind of funny.
yeah, but here's the catch though. There is a dichotomy of specs going on with VR. So for VR, you want high refresh rate,
Yeah.
but it's tricky to have high refresh rate and high resolution at the same time,
Right. Of course.
right?
Because the larger
Because it's
the
an
image,
awful
the
lot of
harder it is to-
bandwidth, right? It's an awful
Yeah.
lot of information. The graphics needs to be really, up there. All these
And
things
if you
need to
don't
line
want
up just right.
massive umbilical cords of cables hanging from your
Yes.
forehead. Yeah.
Right. But here's the thing. Since there's a compromise there that has to be done one way or the other, and you kind of want to favor the refresh rate over the resolution,
Hmm.
when you try to actually read anything on those virtual screens, yeah, it's like the worst kind of nearsightedness, right? Because
Ah.
everything's fuzzy because the screen is far away. But honestly, it's not fuzzy because your vision is blurred or you need your glasses,
Interesting.
right? It's because the pixels are just too small. So
Yeah.
you'll literally find yourself doing what you do normally and moving your head
Yeah.
all the way up so
Oh,
you can
totally.
look
I
at
could
the letters
totally see
larger, right? Yeah.
Hello, Digraphon.
So that's what the pain in the butt about it is, and it's nowhere. It's nothing like you actually sitting at your PC, right? Even if the resolution of the headset was so good that it was say like 4K resolution or something, well, if you're looking at an imaginary screen that's in front of you in the VR, that screen's only taking up like a quarter of the 4K screen.
Right.
Right? So there's only so many pixels there for you to see the thing. So unless you move your head all the way up so that it's just taking up everything, it's not going to be the same resolution as your regular display. So there's a long way to go there, right? Like you're going to need like 8K displays or higher for you to, for you to be able to sit virtually and look at a screen and have it be similar to you just sitting, in real world and looking at a screen.
Maybe there's some way to affect the way you're seeing the image too. Maybe there's a VR, a more VR friendly, setup that they could do as opposed to just trying to replicate a desktop.
Oh yeah, There's something with the VR, the HTC Vive. It has a camera on it, and you can set it in game. So the camera, you're playing the game with the camera on, so you can see what's happening
outside.
That gives you, that gives you like an overlay, like a wireframe image of the room that you're in. But they mostly do that so you don't accidentally like walk into your bookshelf.
Or knock over, or knock over your
like
monitor, or punch your monitor.
Like because you can set up those boundaries for the room, right? And it kind of puts that little wireframe boundary up as you're getting close to it. But you can also turn it on so that it also shows you the room as a wireframe as you're getting close to the boundary.
Hey, Worzy's also donated $3.
I don't know how much times I've almost punched my monitor.
Worzy's also donated $3 as well.
He said he was going to donate again to see if it popped up.
And Leo. Wait a sec. Leo donated as well. Oh my God, there's all these things. Leo gave us $5 to say that DRGB and ARGB are 3-pin headers for digital WS2812 LEDs that run on 5 volts and need to be plugged to digital RGB controllers and motherboard. Oh, wow. Okay. That was 4 days ago. I am so on top of this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so just apologies in general that I haven't got back to people on this stuff. That is a little bit shocking that I guess that was the Streamlabs thing that I hadn't got sorted out. And thank you, Digraphin, and thank you, Tweety Row, by the way. Sorry, carry on.
Doesn't that app automatically like link with the chat and just like put that somebody donated or something? I thought there was some fanciness to that thing.
I'm sure there is. I haven't set that up. I'll have to get
Nightbot does something like that.
I'll have to get the kid to do it. Yeah, but Nightbot, I'll have to link it with Nightbot because right now I'm not seeing anything, right? Ruby K says you got to set up things to pop up on screen. I see. There you go.
Yeah.
People are asking, what's this technobabble? He's speaking VR with me. Exactly, Malventano. Exactly.
It is definitely. No, somebody asked who you were talking with.
Oh, I see. Did I not mention? Alan?
It was, I don't know, it was a few lines back.
Yeah.
And then I had to fumble with Twitch for a few minutes because I didn't realize I wasn't signed in, so it wouldn't let me type in the chat.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah, because I do that all the time. Okay. As you could probably imagine. All right. Yeah. So I
ended up picking up a I haven't used it much because I got the Index, but I picked up a Pimax. Have you heard of that one?
Pimax? No.
Pimax. So their sort of claim to fame was that they make a very, very widescreen VR. So like you've used your Vive and it's kind of like you're looking through a ski mask, right?
Right, yeah.
Because the holes are only so big for you to look through, and it's sort of, you're sort of in like a 4x3 like old school television kind of screen, right? Like it's not widescreen. So
I don't notice it. Like it feels immersive to me, but yeah.
You get used to it, that's true. But the Pimax is like it is. So the Vive is like a screen that's divided in two, so you're looking at like half of a screen with each eye, right? The Pimax is 2 widescreen displays, one for each eye.
Wow.
So it's like a full monitor for each eye, right? And the lenses 8K. Are made in such a way that like when you put that thing on, you can't even move your eye. Like if you move your eye all the way as far as it will go, like to where you would normally be seeing like your temple, right? You can still see the room. Like you can still see the VR through that. Like it's literally almost the entire place where you can move your eye. There is VR there. There's not like a black section anywhere. And
I'll put the link.
it's pretty sweet, but it's extremely hard to like drive from the you need a lot of hardware, right? To make it go fast, because it's literally it's like I think they made them in even higher resolutions, but the one I have is only it's not, I don't think it's 4K. It's like two 1440p displays, one for each eye. And even then,
so
even as nice as that,
that's like gluing a monitor to each eye.
Yeah, it's like gluing a monitor to each eye, basically. But even with that, I'm still moving my head forward to try to read text on a virtual window.
Really? Wow. I mean,
but the immersion is amazing, right?
They're
because
becoming cheaper. I mean, too, they're becoming a lot more reasonable in price. I like the Oculus because you're not dealing with those stupid umbilicals. But again, you're probably not getting nearly the kind of processing as you would from a PC as well, right?
Right, that's the thing, because with the Oculus, like, all the processing has to be in the thing, right? It can only be so good at that rate, you know. I mean, think about it. You've got a 980 in your PC, and even it might be having a hard time in giving you some motion sickness, right? So the graphics capability of the Oculus can only be so good, because otherwise it's going to be a bad experience, right? So any games you're playing there are probably going to be like really polygony and, you know,
I gotta
triangle
say, Beat
shapes.
Saber looks freaking great.
Beat Saber is, yeah, and you were playing it on the Oculus, right?
Yeah.
Or were you playing on the
worked
Vive?
fine. No, not the Oculus.
Oh, yeah.
On the Vive.
On the Vive, yeah.
It was great. Absolutely great.
Yeah. Well, Beat Saber is really, that's an easy game to render. Like, it looks really pretty, but there's not a lot of stuff on the screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and the stuff that is on the screen is not, while it does have sharp edges, it doesn't need to be like super detailed textures or anything. It's just a glowy box and another glowy box and a glowy room, and you know, there's not a lot of things to draw, like individual small things to draw, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
The other cool thing about the Valve Index is that you can, it's especially amazing for Beat Saber, is you can increase the refresh rate even higher than 90. You can go to like 120 hertz.
And you notice that, like, you really notice the difference when you do that.
Oh, I do. Yeah. I can notice like all the way up to like a 200 hertz display, like for a PC monitor. I can pick out. I'm one of those where, that's why I was doing a lot of the display reviews when I was writing for PC Per. Even though I was the storage guy, I was testing displays, because I'm one of those guys that could just like look at a monitor and go, oh nope, something's wrong, like the refresh rate's off, or
oh really?
Yeah. And not only that, but it'll bug the crap out of me. Like if the mouse is lagging, like if you move the mouse and it takes a couple of frames of refreshing for the mouse to move on the screen, like I'm immediately like OCD, like there's a problem. Yeah.
It's like audiophiles who can tell the difference with audio stuff. I've got terrible ears, terrible eyes, so I don't even. I remember lending a CD or something to Joe on Stargate one day, and he was like, "What the hell?" He wanted to listen to some. I can't remember what the band was. There was some new band or something, and he's like, "What?" He's like, "That's the worst sound I've ever." I was like, "Well, it sounds great. What are you talking about?" There's really good copy. He's like,
what was wrong with it?
AM radio.
Oh,
it was the compression was terrible, but I didn't notice it at all.
Some 96 kilobit MP3 you burned to a CD back as audio again.
Yeah, something horrible. Oh, thank you, Jonathan MLH. Look at that. I've heard Valenka is better at tech than you. That's a lot more than $5, Jonathan. Luckily, Jonathan threw a CNC machine at us as well, so I guess I'll let him get away with that. But I've heard Zelenka is better at tech. In real life, I wouldn't be surprised in real life. Although, no, he's like a boaty guy. He goes out on boats. He's like more like a Hemingway in the sea type thing. You know, I'm not sure about the tech side of stuff, but I'm sure I'll be proven wrong at some point, I'm sure.
Oh, somebody recognized me by my voice in the chat.
From what?
Well, they said my first name.
Ah, look at that.
It's like Beetlejuice.
Bluesy said, Bluesy knows, Bluesy's on to you. So your TV's 32 inches. Watcher's TV is 32 inches. But that's the problem with, I find with the monitor situation, it's not even about just having one big screen. It's about having, like, I need multiple screens. Like, I like to be able to sort of compartmentalize. Thank you. Thank you for the words. Speaking is hard. I've tried a bunch of different
configs. I had like a 34-inch like ultra wide for a while, and
Right.
that starts to like, if you're sitting close enough to it, like that actually like bugs your neck after a
Mm.
while. Like you're
Right.
getting whiplash going from one side of the screen to the other, and it's just like
Yeah,
it's
you
almost
got
like it's
you
too
walk in
wide.
that line. You walk in that fine line.
Yeah.
Gillests, say hi to your wife. Apparently, his wife just walked by and said, "Oh, hello, Rodney." So hello back. Bluesy misses you, dude. Apparently, yeah. Well, you don't have to miss Alan because he just pops in whenever you mention nuclear or VR or Tesla or batteries. What else? What are the keywords?
I have a very small subset of people that will occasionally say they miss me on PC Per.
Right. Of course, they've got to. My God, they watch you for years.
I pop up in random places every once in a while. I did a video with Wendell a while back. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Level 1 Tex Wendell. He's like a Linuxy. Yeah. I did a video with him. I went to just go like see where he worked because he lives like an hour south of me.
Right.
And I sold him some hard drives because I had like
really?
I had upgraded my hard drives, so then I had like a box of 24 8-terabyte hard drives left over from my upgrade.
Right.
Because when I upgrade, it's massive amounts of storage get thrown around in my basement.
I know it's a nightmare, isn't it? That's why I love having the server now. That server that you set me up with.
The Drobo?
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. I mean, it's slow and makes the hell of a noise, but it's just fantastic for just.
It's still all green, right?
That's
just checking.
Oh, I've had numerous failures. Like numerous hard drives have gone down, and it's not been a problem.
Really?
I just popped them out. Well, because I was using old drives. I chucked a whole bunch of old drives in there.
I thought we were gonna. Oh, what happened?
What happened?
I don't know. The Discord did something weird.
Someone left and rejoined.
Oh, okay.
Someone joined.
I thought we were gonna like get Western Digital to send you some drives or something. That didn't happen.
I can't remember now. No,
I was trying to line something up for you at the time.
I think I bought the drives. I bought a bunch of the drives, but I got the case from Drobo for free, thanks to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I started off with a bunch of 2-terabyte drives that were old that I've been using for a while. In fact, I might have even made a couple of like single terabytes in there. And then
the drive I really want to get is like not an SSD is what I'm pretty sure you're talking about. I want to get in.
No, these are old hard drives.
No, they're hard drives. They're spinning.
But yeah, what's the SSD
rust.
you're looking at?
Oh, okay. My C drive is not the biggest.
But it's an SSD,
Is it an SSD or is it a hard drive?
My C drive is it's a hard drive, not an SSD, and then all of my other storage is an SSD. And I want to get an NVMe drive one day because a 1 terabyte one. It's because apparently those go so fast.
What do you think,
David?
Alan?
That's you installed that the other day. M.2 NVMe SSD.
Oh,
is
that
what
was
you installed.
it's an M.1 as I call it.
No, you kept calling it M1 like the tank.
That's it. It's an M1. So the M. Yes. So Wolf Pup, you were around for that build.
Yeah, that's what they installed. That Western Digital drive was a NVMe drive.
And they were on special for a while there. They may have a look because they're surprisingly cheap.
You can find them. The good sale price is like 10 cents per gigabyte or so.
Thanks, Disco Johnny.
Yeah, so you can get them. They've come down an awful lot lately. And I mean, not that I'm trying to promote Intel specifically, but like there is a Intel drive called the 660p that usually goes on sale for pretty dang cheap.
What is cheap now for SSDs? I mean, what is the
like 10 cents a gig, just depending on whatever the capacity is. So like 500 gig drive would be, well, a terabyte would be like $100 typically.
Wow. See, that's about the right price range for me because you get the speed,
it's good enough.
Yeah.
Like compared to how dang fast those things are compared to hard disks, it's $100 is okay.
But the thing about the Drobo is you dump a bunch of cheapish old drives in there, and the system just takes care. When something fails, you just pop in another one in it. So every time something failed, I would pop in like an 8 gig, a brand new 8 gig, and then
8 terabyte.
Yeah, and it would 8 terabyte. Oh my god! At least I'm not saying kilobytes like I used to, or no megabytes.
True.
I used to say megabytes because it being kilobytes for so long. That's how old I am. Thank you, Digraphin. She said,
Yeah, what you call it? Yeah, you should have, but you should have hopefully at least 2 or 3 newer drives in there that are. Here's the thing you got to be careful about. If you have like a bunch of old ones in there, like if you have say 4 old drives in there,
like I used to, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want more than a couple failing at the same time, otherwise you're screwed.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like as long as there's enough space remaining of the good drives, it will like restitch everything. So if one drive fails and you're not even home, it'll go, oh, that drive's gone. Okay, now I have these remaining ones, and it will immediately start to rebuild and reshuffle stuff around so that it can in the future deal with even another one failing. Right.
Right.
So it'll do that on its own.
Mine could fail.
But that's
too.
only.
Two of my drives could fail, and so I made sure that I never had.
Okay, so you're doing double. That's good.
Yeah.
But if you have like 3 crappy old drives in there, and all 3 of them, or if 2 fail and then the third one fails before it can finish its reshuffling,
then you're screwed.
Then it all goes away.
Yeah. Oh no, believe me, I've lost. I think the reason we talked about this was I had a what was it? A Mac Compute, whatever it's called. They've called themselves something else now. Mac Sales or something like that. Well, I had one of their sort of not proprietary, but one of their little builds, one of their little box builds of this RAID storage thing. And despite the fact that I had everything lined up properly, they then announced that you had to have the same drive, the same edition, the same like serial numbers or something within a certain, like they were basically, it failed and I lost everything. Like,
yeah, they were too picky on their hardware requirements.
And it was unfortunate because it wasn't particularly well documented, and also it was all of my all the kids' photos. So there's a huge chunk of time.
Wait a minute.
My wife resentfully points out to me.
Hold on. Wait. Walk me through this again. You had some set of drives in some other hardware enclosure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And something failed in such a way where it went away.
Whole thing failed. Like the
whole thing failed. How many drives were in it?
4.
Do you still have the box?
No, I worked on it for ages. I actually talked to a data recovery company about it, and it was just, I talked to my wife, and I was going to send them off to get them looked at. It just wasn't worth the money. It was too expensive.
But you got rid of it?
Yeah.
David, you could have just sent that thing to me.
Oh, really? Could you have done that?
Yes.
And I didn't know you then, Alan. This was like about 15 years ago. No, not 15 years ago.
Well, sure, it was a long time ago, but okay. So future reference.
Yeah.
Anything goes away that you can't take care of in that moment,
yeah,
you will be able to take care of in the future at some point. Probably.
Well, look, it's possible I might have a couple of them kicking around still, but I don't think I've got all 4 of them. I think I ended up reformatting a couple for.
If you reformat them, then it's toast.
Yeah. But it's a neat concept, but it scares the crap out of me. Like splitting stuff across drives just sort of terrifies me. All right, I should finish up with bandits here. So Baz, you were the one who brought up this whole VR thing. Is there anything you want to add? Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
Not really. Just wanted to kind of talk about everything that I was thinking of talking about.
Right. I mean, I would love the idea of the Tech Bandits of being able to somehow like kit everyone up with like a headset. How cool would it be? Even if it was just the cheap like Oculus ones, we all throw them on, and then we're having a shared experience as opposed to just these sort of, voices, these distanced voices, or staggering videos, the case may be. I just love the idea that in the future we will be able to do that, and I think that will make a huge difference to even just like learning. I mean, imagine going to school and they say, okay, let's go to the Sistine Chapel. They throw on the headsets and off they go. Of course, 4 out of 10 of those kids will be puking in no time at all, but
In the Tech Bandits chat is my server.
Oh, yes? Oh, great. Oh, wow.
That was in the middle of me upgrading, though.
Boy, that's a beast.
Looks a little better than that now.
It looks like a TARDIS. It's like TARDIS. It's like a TARDIS-sized server.
It's a TARDIS of hard disks.
That's it. Yeah.
It is bigger on the inside.
And what? Yeah, no kidding. It's true. That's it. Virtually with data. Yeah, it's very true. Tweety Row, thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. Stay safe. Take care. Not once, but twice. $15. Wow. Thank you very much. God, I don't know why people do that.
Why whenever I think of something that would add to like a pretty cool thing in the conversation, I always forget it. I'm trying to think because there was something for the web browser when Halloween was there. They were saying Firefox had a thing saying, hey, you can, if you have a VR or even if you don't have a VR, you can do this and you can talk to your friends in VR. And it was
I think you could
like,
still go in. Baz, you were going through VR chat even when you didn't have the VR set up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell that Baz is dual screening?
Why?
No, I'm just teasing you. It's just you suddenly become very, very quick to respond. You're like, oh, yeah, no, yeah, yes, Dad, bye.
I thought I wasn't quick to respond. Sorry.
Oh, no, you were doing well.
Can you tell that I am dual screening?
I always just assume you're always dual screening. And then I know Alan is probably building like Bitcoin miners while we're talking.
No. I'm just
not
sitting
today.
here.
Tech news: Flash has finally been turned off. They've been doing that for ages. Isn't that done yet?
No, they tried, but now you can no longer use Flash.
Yeah, it's been a slow burn.
Crying again.
What's wrong, Baz?
I miss Flash.
It's so funny. Everyone Baz's age and under is lamenting the loss of this terribly insecure,
Dad,
hackable
you
technology.
can't play any games that you used to be able to play now.
Yes, you can. Someone will build an emulator that'll do it for you, I'm sure.
Well, not for a while. So
For which system?
For Flash. Remember Flash?
Oh, an emulator
or Shockwave.
Well, yeah. I mean, you could just make a virtual machine and install Windows 98 on it, and
there you go.
How
Run
is
it
Happy
anyways.
Wheels doing?
Macromedia Flash, like the actual old program.
Or Macromedia. No, it's Macromedia. Oh God, what was it called? Come on.
Flash
Oh, the
Shockwave.
the thing where you made
Shockwave.
the thing where you made
It was
Shockwave.
originally
Yeah,
called Shockwave. Yeah, I remember
Shockwave
that.
Flash. Yep.
I remember reading all the documentation. It was about the same time or soon after Java came out. Was it Java came just a little bit before, or a little bit
JavaScript?
after? No, like Java, the original
Java.
language. And I remember getting that whole developer kit and starting to plow through it because I just thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, Flash. Good riddance to Flash.
Yeah, I don't think we're missing anything.
That thing was chock full of exploits just waiting to happen.
It was terrible. And what's worse is people were using it constantly to get you to download malware as well, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant by exploits. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, that's because every time I go to my mother's computer to do something, I'm like, Mom, what did
It's
you
just
click
full
on?
of toolbars.
It's just always like, Baz, you got nailed by it once, I think, didn't you? Didn't you get there was some kind of like something that you bought or downloaded, a Minecraft mod or something, and he had adware for ages.
Here's the thing to be careful of, because you can get ransomware relatively easy if you're not careful. And ransomware, so the reason I bring this up is you want to be careful which systems that Drobo is mounted on.
Right, because it could go in and encrypt me because it's sitting on the same network.
Yes. Well, on the network is one thing, but you just want to make sure that whatever regular PCs you're using all the time that are considered like the highest risk of catching something, you kind of I know it's convenient, but you don't want the Drobos mounted everywhere.
So you shouldn't mount the Drobo on the PCs. Just keep it on the Macs, maybe.
That would be at least a little safer.
Or log in
if you're not
bounce out.
If you're not constantly trying to get stuff off of the Drobo, then yes, I would minimize. If you treat the Drobo as this is my mass storage, I don't want to lose stuff.
It's basically, not backup, but it's like video files and just stuff where I'm I can't, my when my laptop every 2 minutes tells me that I don't have enough space because it's also old like me.
Well, yeah.
Hey, excuse me. That was a manly sneeze, wasn't it? Hey.
But yeah, you want to be careful. Just like you shouldn't have one copy of anything anywhere. Like only one copy
Me?
is the other thing. Yeah, you.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah?
You don't.
I mean,
you don't
what
have to
I'd
keep
love to
talking.
do-
I already know the answer.
You know what I'd love to... Well, no, I assumed that because I had it so that I basically have it set so that I use half of the space and then the other half.
I know. I know.
thought that was pretty
but
safe.
here's the thing though.
Yeah.
You have to pretend that any one item is a black box that can catastrophically fail at any
Yeah.
moment. And that includes not the drives that are in the Drobo, but the Drobo itself.
Oh, look, Jonathan MLH is yelling at me about that too. I know, but it's
RAID
like,
is
what am I
not a
gonna
backup.
do? Like, okay, so here's what I would like to do.
Yes.
Here's the problem that you get into. All of the truly important, sensitive stuff are fairly small because they're like text files and PDFs and
You got them in
scripts and all
Dropbox
that kind
or
of stuff.
OneDrive or something?
You got
Noodles
Dropbox,
is
you got
back.
OneDrive, I got backups
I'm
of
very
all that
confused.
stuff. What's up?
I'm back and extremely confused.
Oh dear God! You can't expect to leave for like 45 minutes, come back and know what we're talking about. We're talking
Yeah,
about
I know.
backups.
I
Talking
wasn't
backups.
expecting to.
We're
Yeah.
talking about backups.
You're talking about computers or something?
Yeah. So
Yeah, the small
basically-
stuff, you put it on, if you got a Microsoft account, OneDrive gives you like, what,
Exactly.
a terabyte?
So I've
Right.
got it on. I've got it on Apple. I've got it on Google. I've got it on
Yeah.
Dropbox. What I want though is to dump all of these massive amounts of like video that I have
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
onto online somewhere that isn't going to cost me a freaking fortune.
Well, if you're just worried about from the sake of having a backup only,
Mhm. Yeah, that's really all I need.
you could do it with like Amazon Glacier.
Oh, really? But what?
So yeah, Amazon has different tiers of like storage options,
Backblaze.
and
Why does that
and
sound familiar?
you could do Backblaze too. Backblaze is there's some limitations with Backblaze, like a certain type of account. I think it has to be like direct attached storage to your system. It might not necessarily work the right way with a network attached Drobo.
Huh. Okay.
Like it's meant to only back up what's physically in your PC, right? But there's probably some paid option where you can do something and back more stuff up.
But Drobo doesn't do that.
Well, that's
You want
the what is
something
that?
integrates with the Drobo.
Which
You want
Drobo is it?
I wanted to say something that I really hope people
something-
would know the name of it, and I'm not.
Is it got how many bases on it? And it's got it's just network ports on the back, not USB.
Yeah, it's the 8N or something, I think.
Yeah,
And
it's an 8N.
also full
yeah.
of dust. Now that I've got
So
it
an
vacuumed out.
8N has apps.
Oh, has backup apps I could use.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, then I'll do something. I'll
Yeah,
figure something else for that.
You need like I think to access it though, you need like Drobo dashboard installed on a PC or a Mac, and then
Yeah,
you have
which
to
I've
like
got. Yeah, I've got the.
yeah,
I've
you
got
got to
them
pull
on
it
both.
up. So somewhere in there's apps. Like you might have to do a firmware update or something to get to it.
Right.
To enable everything. But yeah, there's apps, and then like just see what's in there and see whichever app they have that's good for some backup thing that you want to use. They should have pretty much all of them covered.
I love this stuff. I mean, the idea of having, because to me that's the least, that stuff I don't, if that were to disappear, I would miss it immensely, but it's not essential.
Right.
If that makes sense. It is
Yeah.
essential in that you'll never get it back, but it's also huge and the hardest things to get onto the cloud. Like you'd have to have something running, I guess, on a network all the time to slowly back it up. Unless you could just, no, I wouldn't send them. I was gonna say I could send them a drive, but that would cost a fortune too. So.
No. There's like how many terabytes is it? Like that you're using?
At this point now, let's
Yeah.
have a look. Why don't I go have a look right now? So you're gonna have to worry about this soon, Noodles, because you're gonna have so much cool stuff on your computer. All right, here we go.
Pardon? Sorry, I
You're gonna need
lost.
to worry about backups soon because you're gonna have your computer and you'll be like, "What do I do with all my cool information and games and
Yeah.
stuff?" All right, I'm looking for the Drobo backup.
bet the
How did
cool
piano go, by the way?
Good.
Yeah,
I still hear it.
are you you're
Yeah,
playing now?
that's my sister.
Oh, she's doing her lesson now?
Yeah.
All right, there's a new version. I need to update it, but I'm not going to do that just yet. Let's see what I've got in here.
Let me see if I can get like a headphone with a mic.
Okay. Do you? No, not yet. I don't know. Okay. What do I got? Okay. So 30. Okay. It is 32.49 terabytes total.
32 terabytes. That's impressive, David.
Yeah. Of which 20 terabytes is used.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What's still impressive?
I know that's still a lot of it. And again, it's just because I'm like a digital hoarder. Like I will not throw anything out.
Right, right. But
Yeah.
but here's the thing. You can make yourself a quote unquote offline backup of that just by picking yourself up like a couple of like 12 terabyte external drives, right? And you just copy the first half onto one, the second half off of another one. You take them, you stick them in the back closet or something. Right? You know what I mean? Like they're not plugged into anything. The stuff's on there. It's not going anywhere. At least you have a backup, right?
Yes. Then I've got a backup of all the giant stuff. But I feel like I like
Well,
the
the
idea
small
of a
stuff-
living one because.
Well, right. But like so the way you would do that is the stuff that you're accumulating slowly over time, you would, maybe make that a folder that's in your OneDrive as that builds up.
You
right?
know, all I hear here, Alan, is organization and discipline.
Yeah, I know.
Which I suck at. I have the best of intentions. I come up with these great systems. I just don't actually do them.
Well, no, like this is a relatively easy one. You take whatever the storage that's more real time and maybe even online, which means that it's off site, right? You take that and you slowly fill that up with the stuff as you're accumulating. You shot a couple more videos, you stick it in that folder, it gets uploaded to OneDrive. It takes a little bit, might take overnight, but at least it got there, right?
Right.
And at least you have the backup, right? But then once that gets full,
maybe mute Noodles.
Yes.
I mean, the piano's lovely, but you may want to mute it.
Wait, can you still hear it?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I have headphones plugged in. Just give me a sec.
I thought you were about to say my stupid sister.
You can just Noodles. You can just mute. Just mute yourself until you talk.
So what you do, David, is you fill that thing up, whatever that folder is, and eventually OneDrive is going to yell at you and say, "Hey, dummy, your storage is full," right? And then when that happens, you take the whole contents of that folder and you just completely empty it off to that. You pull that external out of the closet, and first you
back it up.
You move it all over to your Drobo, and then you go and you grab that drive and you take that same folder that you just moved and you make another copy of it onto that other drive. Now you have it. It's still in two places, right? And you've emptied that OneDrive folder again, and now you can go another however long it takes you to accumulate another terabyte or whatever, right?
But doesn't it make more sense? I mean, for someone like me, doesn't it make more sense to have a cloud system? Like, because then it's off-site. Because the biggest issue here is, like, let's say there's a fire. If there's a fire, I lose everything. The backup and the backup.
Yes.
Whereas if you've got a cloud system, you're covered.
Which is what, but I'm trying to be budget conscious in my recommendations for you.
Oh, budgets.
Well, because
you're smart.
So here's the thing: with just a couple of 12 terabyte like external drives, they're not that large. You can get the cheesiest like fire safe firebox that's meant for like documents. And just sit that on the floor of your closet, the kind that's like, reasonable size enough to hold like a couple of reams of paper, right? Or build a bunker, I guess. But you just regular firebox, and you stick the drives in that. And your house does burn down, the firebox is probably still good, right?
Right.
I mean, they make much more expensive things. They make things called IO-Safe makes these things, which is like the equivalent of a Drobo, but it's in a firebox. Like I have one of those.
So it's just an enclosure for the case that wouldn't allow fire or smoke damage to get in.
Right. Right. But those get very pricey. But that's only if you need the storage to be online on your network all the time, and you want your house to be able to burn down.
Or wait a second. What if you take that server, you take the Drobo, and you put it like in a little bunker in the garage or something?
Well, you could.
I mean, it can't be slower.
Is it underneath your backyard basement bunker time again?
I keep thinking, Noodles, how do we get this into a giant bunker under the backyard? That's what I want.
Yeah.
You just need a network to reach out there. Like,
That's it.
Wait, can we have like a fireproof bunker and you just keep all your data in that? So like, if your house goes up, you're like, at least my man cave bunker isn't in flames.
I'm
But just-
thinking, like,
but
yeah,
just
I'm
remember-
thinking we just build
but just
a-
remember, David,
Hmm.
RAID is not a backup still. So even if your Drobo is in a
Right,
fireproof bunker,
yes. Oh,
if it's
man.
the only copy,
Yeah,
Alright.
make
Go
backups
bad.
and like put them in the bank or something.
A bank deposit box, but that involves people, MD Hofstein.
But what if someone
Hmm.
robs the bank and is like, ooh, someone's pictures, let's take them, even though they're worth nothing
Yeah.
to me.
James Gurney
The
says,
thing is, when someone's
"Or
robbing a
delete
bank,
some
they don't go,
files."
"Ooh, let's look in the let's look in the bank boxes, break into a bank box and steal someone's pictures
drive.
of their family."
I think it's
That's
more
what
like
I
it.
want to do.
That's how you get hacked. It's cheaper to get hacked, I think.
Ugh.
It's so funny, you know, everybody is so positive in this little chat stream until you talk about backups. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden everyone's like, what if it floods? Fire, nuclear attack, locusts. I mean, everyone's like immediately worst case scenario. Yes, I know I should
Yes.
do a backup, and I keep meaning
Yes.
to do some kind of a backup. But
yes,
know-
you can go crazy with all those options, but currently you are sitting at you only have one copy of a lot of data.
yes, true. I guess what I was trying to avoid was what I still have is a giant box of hard drives. I still feel like we're still in the situation there where I'm going to be buying hard drives. I'd almost like rather spend the money on someone else's infrastructure, right? Like at
True.
some point, it's going to be cheaper to have someone else's infrastructure holding all my stuff in the cloud.
Do I need to make a folder on my server for you, David?
That's what I'm asking. That's it. That's it.
Thank
Your
you,
network would
Sea Monkey, for
grind to
being
a
subscribed
halt.
for 3 months.
What was that?
I mean,
Oh, Sea Monkey.
what?
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you, Sea Monkey. Thank you. 3 months. Boy.
there is now you have me checking to see how much space I have left on my server.
No. But that's the other problem, right? Some of this is like, you know, is stuff that I wouldn't want shared anyways, right? It's like me yelling at Baz when he was too young to know better. You know, that
Well, I
kind
mean,
of stuff.
I'm not saying I was going to share out your private folder that was sitting on my server.
No, but I mean, but you know what I mean? Like it's look, I freak out about Google every so often because I'm like, oh my God, what, like Gmail, the reality is you want to cause chaos, go in and just like start reading out, well, as they did with like Hillary Clinton and stuff, just start going and reading people's emails out loud. I mean, that could cause chaos, right? I mean, Google
Yeah.
has spent all of their
Here's the
time
thing. The
battling
reason
stuff.
I'm not too worried about my emails or anything being reading out loud is, one, I don't really send emails. Two,
I don't
none
use
of
email, I
there's
guess,
no
that's all.
reason to hack me. I have nothing interesting.
Right.
Like like the pictures on my iPad are literally like screenshots of like random monkeys on the internet. I thought
But
looked
here's
cute.
the thing, though. You're not the target. This is what I keep saying to Baz. The target is not you, but you could be the way in to your dad's bank account or your mom's bank account or a mortgage or a whatever or a Visa or you know what I mean. Like that's
why
the problem.
that's why I'm on guest Wi-Fi.
Ooh, you
I
use-
could
that's
store, let's
smart.
see, David, I could store your 20 terabytes either on the SSD array or the hard drive array. I have room on both.
You got an SSD array?
Yeah,
Well, of course you do. What am I
For-
saying? Yeah, you've got like
40
direct access to that stuff.
it's no, I bought it. This
So-
isn't Intel stuff.
So, Wolf Pup, just so you understand, how many SSDs is that, Alan?
On the server,
Yeah.
it's 24 2 terabyte SSDs.
24 SSDs, Wolf Pup,
Then they're 2 terabytes each.
in a server.
And they're
each
set up
two-
in such
that-
a
those
and they're
aren't
set
cheap.
up like your Drobo, so 2 can fail.
So that's not cheap.
David,
Yes.
Well,
you're
that's true.
really quiet.
I'm really quiet again?
Yeah.
Is that for everybody or is that just for you?
David, that is the scratch disk.
Sir, what's the scratch disk?
The scratch disk is like where you put your temporary crap before you put it on the actual mass storage.
Right. So
The actual mass storage is 35 12 terabyte hard disks
Wow.
because I'm a crazy person.
I was gonna say, what do you need for that? Is it media? Just media server?
I mean, there may or may not be the entire contents of the Stargate, universe on there.
See, okay, so
Among other things.
I don't have that kind of stuff. Well, no, that's not true. When I bought stuff off of Apple, I used to
Yeah.
to burn it as
You'd
well,
back it
so I
up.
had it. But that was
Yep.
it. Yeah, that's
No, but you have a lot
serious.
of video content. Like that's like all your content. That's like 20 terabytes. Like you
Yeah.
probably
Oh, yeah.
generated
No.
most of that yourself.
A lot of it's
Right.
like this stuff. Like I'll have backups of
Yeah.
these sessions and stuff. So, you know, it's bragging rights, says Miss M. All right, I should wrap up. It is 10 after 6. I've got to make some dinner because my stomach's already grumbling because I did a 7-minute workout today, and I will not be able to move tomorrow. Do you do any exercise, Alan? Do you do any of that exercise stuff? Did we lose Alan?
Wait, what happened? What?
I was
Do you
saying,
do
do
any
you
exercise?
are you in exercise mode? Do you do exercise on any kind of a regular basis?
We have a weight bench in the basement. It collects an awful lot of dust.
Yeah, that's basically where I'm at with my elliptical right now. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start small, set my sights low. I'm doing a 7-minute workout every day, starting today.
Oh, that the bike, the one that you always tell people don't step on it.
Yeah, the elliptical. That's it. So I want to go back to the elliptical at some point, but I thought 7 minutes, can't get out of it. I walk the dog at night, so that's a good hour of walking right there. And then I've got this 7-minute window, and I thought I'll start easy, do a little beginner today, take it easy on myself. I'm standing because I can't sit down. My legs
I've been-
hurt too much to sit down.
Does cleaning out my garage kind of count as exercise?
Yeah,
sure.
honestly.
Get that pulse up. Get the pulse up.
What,
That's
what
it.
is it? So, David, what was it? Your bathroom you were renovating?
Yeah. Thanks
So-
for that, Alan.
Sorry. Well, listen, you're in good company. I've been renovating my basement for the past how long, Amy? Have I been 6 years? I've been renovating the basement for 6 years.
If I get to 6 years, I'm living in that bathroom alone. Is basically where I'm at. If I get to 6 months, I'm living in that bathroom alone. Jane is not going to put up with that. Oh, Phoenix Blade, thank you very much. All right, does building a CNC machine count as exercise? Good point, Jonathan MLH, he says pointedly. So Jonathan MLH is responsible for getting us that CNC that's behind me over there. Which you
That has to
can't
count as
see.
exercise.
Yeah.
But that has to count.
Yeah,
you're-
I'm not. I haven't been very good at moving recently.
No?
Well, I have online school all day, so I.
But don't you do
can't.
exercise during that too? Baz is bouncing around half the time. Wait a
All right,
second. Is
speaking
that
of
true?
bouncing-
Here's the thing.
Speaking of bouncing around, I'm taking off.
What was that?
Fair-
Speaking of bouncing around, I'm taking off.
All right, get out of here, Alan. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for
see
dropping
ya.
in.
to be fair, I don't think I sit in the same position during online school for more than like 30 seconds.
Hmm.
And like sometimes I just stand up and like I don't know, just like twirl around for no reason because
Well-
I'm sort of because I get just like I don't know, bored I guess or
I'll
just
tell you,
restless.
standing desk is great. If you could stand up and put your computer in a different place, it makes a huge difference. And also, as I say to Baz, just get up and move around every so often. I drag him out for the dog walks in the evening now because otherwise he's not getting out. And sometimes it's just air. Sometimes you just need air. Virtual karate classes. World Builder and Dogs taking virtual karate classes. Trudy Rose says, "I'm
I
gonna
used
sleep
to
in
do
the tub."
taekwondo and
Oh, I still
I
love
liked it
taekwondo.
until my teachers started being well not bad, just yeah, they weren't a very good teacher. It sort of just because I was like older
Mhm.
belt, so
Yeah.
I sort of just got ignored and he just sort of worked with the young white belts or whatever.
Right.
And then I just sort of got ignored and he just told like I think this one of my friends in the class, she was like the highest person.
Right.
There weren't many people and the instructor was basically just like you just teach her what you know. And
but
like
that's-
when
They do
This
that in
guy
Taekwondo, though. I noticed that because I took 3 or 4 different classes of Taekwondo, like sessions with different people. One in LA, actually a couple in LA and a couple in Toronto. And I noticed that they would, and I got resentful too because I was like, wait a second, like the master is here for a little bit, but there's some other guy teaching it the rest of the time. And I think that's part of the process is that you're supposed to learn by teaching. So even at one point I got put in charge and I'm like, what? I broke one of the first things I did in class was he taught me a sweeping kick and then he said, you go off in the corner and practice that. and he had all of his trophies around the outside of the thing, and I kicked him over. I broke like 2 of them, not by the force of my kick, but just them falling off the window ledge. So he was like, "Oh crap," and then moved me, and yeah. And then I left because someone kicked me in the yarbles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The,
He lined us all up,
problem
and we had to do these fake kicks. And the
the
guy
thing
who fake
is,
kicked me.
maybe
kicked
that
me.
would have, maybe that works, but like, the problem is, the master came in to like do a test, right?
Mm.
Because we do tests, and
Yeah, to get the
I
belts.
knew
right?
like nothing, even though I'd been doing a lot
Can
of
you
it.
guys
so,
hear me?
like,
I can.
Oh my god, I'm so annoyed. So
What?
my PC crashed, and then
We gotta do the
and then now
diagnostics
I have
again.
then I had to restart. Well, it was more like League of Legends crashed.
Oh, okay, right.
If you could
right,
tell
right.
that I'm dual screening that.
Yeah. We've discovered there's an issue with a dual screen League of Legends, so we're looking to see how to fix that now.
yeah.
World Builder and Dog's a black belt. What did I get to? Got to like purple or green or
I
something.
was at, I think I have, the problem was the dude that like was doing the test taught me more in an hour than this guy had taught me like for the entire year.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, you want to get a teacher that you like. Was it a local guy, like somewhere near here?
no, it was like, I belong to a sailing club and they do stuff in the winter, and one of their programs is Taekwondo.
Well, there's your problem. You're being taught Taekwondo by a sailor.
Or it was an actual Taekwondo person.
I mean, I think we got Baz's funny bone on that one. All right, I'm wrapping up. I gotta go make something to eat because my God, my stomach is growling.
I am so hungry.
I
what
gotta
is it?
finish my episode of She-Ra. I'm rewatching it and I realized, darn, Tech Bandits is now. I'm literally on the last episode of one of the seasons.
Well, you could dual screen. You just watch She-Ra in the background. Every so often you
Tech
shout out.
Bandits is live, and I'm almost done my show.
And I'm almost
I-
done.
The last
That last
episode of my
episode-
favorite anime in D&D.
You didn't. Don't tell James that.
No.
James,
okay,
did you
I'm
hear
gonna say
that?
something. I was dead, so I finished it.
Oh, I see. Okay, you were like, well, you were just pining for the open.
It was very fun, but I was
Oh.
distracted because my friend wanted me to finish it so I could talk about it with him tomorrow.
Right.
I was like, oh my god, I gotta do this.
I've got to do this for the sake of my social.
Don't
status.
take that rudely. Don't take that rudely. I was having so much fun, but
Hmm.
He
So
was saying
Andrew
things
South
like,
is saying
that
that
Tommy
online.
killed Timmy.
Exactly. Andrew South is saying that online the classes, they're having the kids stay at the computer for hours in the UK. Every hour they have
I
a
love
move,
online
as
class.
in everyone gets up to hydrate and has a 10-minute break. That makes sense. I mean,
we're
Yeah,
trying
oh.
to do like these offline periods once a week. It
Yeah.
just, you can't really stay offline because you have like nothing to do for half the kids.
what? What are you talking? What? There's a million. We've got a freaking
James is
room
like,
full of
but not
robots.
enough fun to.
I've got no friends. David, show us some karate. Oh my God. Okay. So let me tell you a little. So this was the story. This is how I left the second last class that I went to. It used to be these classes in LA that I went to, and this new instructor came in who was direct from Korea, I believe, and ex-military, just a beast. Like he was huge guy. And I was terrified of him, but we got along fine. And we'd end a class and he'd say, "You drive me home." And I'd be like, "Oh, okay." So I'd sort of drive him home and then go home and stuff. It's no big deal. I thought that's fine. And there was like a certain respect thing that goes along with your master and all this kind of stuff. So, and then one day we had a bunch of new kids in and he lined us all up and he had them do kicks as close to my bikini area as you could get, was the idea. And I said, I just don't feel comfortable with this. And he said, no, you do it. And I was like, I don't know. This feels like, and I'm looking across from me is this young, incredibly excitable young actor. And I'm like, I've worked with these guys before. I know what's going to happen. Sure enough, first kick, he almost gets me. And I go, whoa! And I step back. And master came in and he pushed me back into line again. And he said, "You go again." And the guy went again. And this time he hoofed me right in the, like, I was like, woo, like that. And then I was down, like in excruciating pain. And I got very angry and I stormed off. And I went and started to get changed. And then so I changed into my street clothes and I'm like, forget this I said that was the wrong thing. And so I'm full McKay. I go storming. I go to leave the dressing room and I can't get out. The door's blocked. And I'm like, what the hell? I can't get it open. And then suddenly the door flies open and my new master is there and he's like furious. Like he's like foaming at the mouth mad and he grabs me and he pulls me onto the mat. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? And he said to me, he said, if you did that in Korea, I would kill you. And I was like, but we're not in Korea. And he said, you get out. I never want to see you again. And he kicked me out of the class. And so I was like, yeah, fine. Well, I'm going. Please don't hit me. And then I ran away. And
You were on your way out, and he's like, I don't want to see you, even though you're on your way out.
But what I learned from the guy who ran the class, because he called and he said, look, what the hell happened? What did you say? What did you do? He's furious. And I explained what happened. He's like, look, traditionally, you do not leave the practice area without direct permission from your master. It is the ultimate insult to turn and walk away from a teacher. And I said, that's fine, but I'm never coming back. I don't ever want to work with that guy again. That guy's, he's freaking crazy. Anyways, so it was very sad the way it worked out. It turns out basically I don't think I would have done well in the army, basically, is what I got from that. So.
Oh, really?
I think that was a given before you did karate.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Andrew South. We do have a logo for Tech Banditry. It's very hard to get it sort of cut out, basically. Oh, got to finish off Walter. Country 3D. Oh, you're doing one for Country 3D. Woohoo! Well, thank you, Andrew South. And thank you, everyone else. If I missed anybody in any of these various different things that Baz has set up for me, I apologize. But I'm going to go and make some dinner, so I shall do that. Baz, anything you need to say before we go?
Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and
smash that like button
and smash that like button.
Right,
if you click join, you get a special. Make sure Twitch Prime. Free subscription, have no cost. Just Twitch Prime. If you got Amazon Prime, make sure to Twitch Prime. Let's get our primes up. Can we get some primes?
At your funeral,
can we get some
your
primes
generation will be like liking and
Twitch
subscribing.
Primes. Make sure to check out my channel. I'm Iron Ham. Let's get some primes there.
Oh, yeah. I am Iron Hand. That's true. If you want to see Baz doing
Let's
some
get
gaming,
some primes right over there.
When do you stream though, Baz?
Let's get some Twitch primes. I'm gonna stream when I don't know. I'm gonna stream once I'm done my high school applications.
Oh, how are you doing on that?
Terrible.
That's great. All right, I'll come up and yell at you. All right, I'm gonna go up and yell at Baz and then make some dinner. Noodles? Anything?
Have a nice day, everyone.
And make sure to subscribe with Twitch Prime.
Baz,
premium content.
Yeah,
every day, not every day.
Oh my god.
Premium content.
Premium
I'm
content.
never asking
content
Baz.
here, guys.
You get many subs.
Button,
you get specialty emotes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a second.
Yeah.
You need to subscribe.
I'm just gonna
Make
do
sure to
this.
subscribe. Twitch Prime. It's free if you subscribe.
I have just deafened the Discord, just so everyone knows. That was the only way I could shut them up. So I'm going to say thank you very much to everybody. I'm sorry that Wolf Pup didn't get a chance to say goodbye, but there's no way I can possibly compete with that crowd of yobbos. So I will say thank you all very, very much. Very much appreciate the Patreons, the donations, the subscriptions, and sometimes even our tech bandits. Huge thanks to Alan for joining us today, and Jonathan MLH for the CNC I haven't built yet, and of course GStat for the PC, which I'm now not going to have time to bring over. But I'll have to figure something out. All right, let me just see if they're still talking. Let's see. See if they're still going. Watch this.
Your postal code.
Your social security number. Make sure Twitch Prime.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm deafening again. All right. Thank you, everybody. Hopefully going to do a chat stream maybe tomorrow. But if not, we'll be back on Thursday with some Game Bandits. And I'm going to talk to James Gurney about some fun D&D stuff in the near future. Wasn't this the chat stream? Well, Jonathan, it started with the intention of that. I then spent most of it doing tech support for myself with my new audio setup, and then we dived into Tech Bandits. So, no, I will... muting, not deafening. No, I'm deafening. I'm deafening completely. I don't even know what that means. I think I've muted and deafened. The last thing I heard was, like, social security numbers. So, they can spam the stream chat if they want to at this point. All right, everybody. No, it won't be D&D Friday, and if it is, it'll be Friday at whatever time it was that Noodle says she couldn't be there. But no, we'll figure out another day for that. All right, thank you. Until we geek again, I shall say cheerio, and then finally I shall say huzzah! Thanks, everybody.